Well, hello, everyone. This is the first time we've seen you all today, for sure. We weren't just chatting for a bit. Uh, hey, we are here on a Sunday morning to revisit the town of, or the big city of Halcyon City, in a world where there are lots of superheroes, and many of them are angsty teenagers who cause your dear narrator no end of trouble. And before stream, I was like, hey, how are you guys going to get out of all the trouble that you caused? Because all I have is a plan for what happens if you don't. I'd be more than happy to share that with you, but it won't be enjoyable. So, hey, we should, everyone here, hi, everybody. Everyone here knows who everyone is, but for posterity, why don't we let everyone know who you are and a little bit about your character? And by the way, if your character has changed, like at the last minute right before we went live, why don't you let people know what it used to be and what it is now, and just a very short version of like what that's about, like how your playbook changed and stuff, and then we'll get into all the angst and drama and hard feelings as the action begins. Let's start with SJ first this time.
Okay, well, I am SJ or SJ underscore sidekick. I play, well, in the past I was playing Impasse or Devin. So Devin has recently fallen out with her mentor because she was the protege playbook. And then she found out that Impasse or Impact had a daughter, Spectre, that he failed to tell Impasse about. So, and that he had relations with like their main enemy that they've been fighting for years and never thought it was important to mention. So, yeah, basically their last interaction was she asked if Spectre was his daughter, given the pause that told her all she needed to know. So she hung up on him and has essentially run away. So she's going to give up the Impasse name because it's close to Impact and she's big mad. So she's changing her name to Deadlock, which is essentially the same meaning because her whole thing is she can mimic powers. So anyone she's fighting, it essentially puts them at an impasse or a deadlock because it equals the playing field. Problem is she doesn't have like friends or anything. Like she's dedicated her life to crime fighting, and basically Impact was all she had. So
Yeah.
she's got to figure out what she's doing.
So your name is Impasse, but more metal?
Yeah, essentially. She's going to be going through a bit of a rebellious phase,
Got it.
especially depending on how influenced she is by certain other people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so she's getting rid of the like big eye on her chest for sure. Gonna go edgier costume. And I kind of mashed up her playbook between protege and delinquent because she still has the foundations of a protege, but she's going through a rebellious phase right now. So stuff like doesn't have her mentor resources anymore and doesn't want them. Plus they got blown up. um, and stuff like fireside chat because she's not going to be calling up Impact asking for advice. So it's stuff uh, like I don't care what you think. So it's to reject other people's influence, and so they uh, can't really like get because I'm more closed off now,
Yeah.
more like I'm not following anyone's orders or anything anymore.
Cool. So it'll be hard to shift your labels. It'll be hard for other people to shift your labels. It'll be easy for me. But cool. Hey, Zodi.
Hi. I am the original Zodi. I play Ren Harper, who used to be known as Paradigm. And in our last episode, I had a meltdown and destroyed the base.
Juvenile hissy fit. But
I did. It was full on temper tantrum. It was all over the news. And it affected her to a point where Aegis had to step in. It was entirely too dangerous. So for like 6-ish weeks, She's been in Aegis headquarters, essentially being reformed. Aegis put it out there that Paradigm is no more, and she became Fade. She wanted to fade from sight. In doing so, that led to a playbook change. She is now the soldier. Yes, baby.
Did you see I did my...
I did. Go play. Go on. She is going to have her powers heavily monitored. And instead of being able to, just randomly lift something up and throw it, she's just going to be able to shoot that power out and make energy bursts. What all had led to this was Devin making things weird between her and Val having issues, her coming to terms with the fact that she doesn't actually hate Resonance, and Tilly not being there.
It is kind of all Tilly's fault for not being there.
It is very much Tilly's fault for not being there. So she's been in counseling. She is in the process of being placed within an Aegis-regulated foster family, and attempting to get her friends back. Which, yes, I do actually have a plan for this. It's difficult, but you gotta work with me here.
Good.
It all depends on the dice rolls. I have zero influence over anybody, except maybe Tilly. Because Tilly wasn't there when all this shit went down. And I will toss it over to Rachie now.
Hello. Am I unmuted? That's the first thing. Because if so, success. We're doing well. Okay. I am still Residence, Isla, Lala, same person. I didn't have an emotional crisis like everyone else, but I did walk out of the compound. That was mainly because I felt that no one was actually truly my friend. And I think I had had enough of the falsities or what I felt were the falsities, because I have had falsities my whole life and also not had the greatest luck with some friends. And so the only person I actually liked, or I felt liked me back, was Tilly, who wasn't there. Tilly?
Yep, yet again.
And yeah, so basically nobody ever revealed to me about, it seemed like everybody knew about the whole Spectre's dad situation, but nobody felt that I should know about it. I literally found out about it stood in the kitchen with, what was the other AI
Ash.
called?
Autonomous
Ash.
Superhero Program.
Yeah,
hologram.
Ash. So I kind of, and even he knew before me, and I thought Spectre and I were starting to become friends, and I didn't know about their relationship either. And Paradigm had, been quite horrible to Spectre at some point, and I had defended Spectre because of it. And yet it was, I defended her, but then she didn't even have, the respect to me to come and tell me. So the person that I spent the most time with last episode was actually Impasse. What were you before? Impasse? Yeah.
Impasse, yeah.
So I believe, didn't you come and stay with me because then you left?
I'm going to. I'm probably going to show up at your doorstep at the beginning of the episode because,
Yeah. So basically, that we started to form a weird friendship because we spent most of last episode together.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, what has Tilly been doing other than ruining everything by her absence?
Yeah, Tilly.
I mean, not much. So, as a side note, I'm Misha _less than 3.
here to play Tilda or Tilly, who is the newborn playbook. She's like a robot. It definitely is made with alien technology. Since Misha, was narrating the last episode, which was an exciting field trip. They handled the problem,
Don't make it
and then everyone
silly.
immediately imploded. I don't think related to what was going on with solving the problem, but afterwards, just with pure teen drama. I guess Tilly was the glue that held the group together. At any rate, story-wise, I think she was summoned to an Aegis inquest to because they found out that she's made with alien technology, so they had some questions. But I presume that went fine. So she's probably going to go back and see that the entire their home was destroyed. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
because I don't think, is aware of any of this happening. It's probably still hitting up the group chat and is like, wait, everyone's leaving. I don't understand. I'll have to reconnect them. I'll just add them back in. They must have just lost the channel.
Right.
That's all. You hope the tough.
All right. I am 98 Tough Lover, Tough for Torfleton, or some other variety of nickname. I'm also a variety streamer on Twitch. I play lots of different games. Sometimes I run games like Masks. We'll be picking up Unfathomable at some point. I also play Masks over on Sin's channel. Backwin's going to be running a Masks. There's lots of Masks. I love this system. So, and I am playing Spectre, who is the Scion, has not changed. She is the kid of a villain. And she currently feels like a villain because she realized, maybe not telling most of her friends' secrets was a bad thing. And now she's facing consequences of her actions.
No, keeping secrets is important.
Yeah, for Tilly. Yeah, sorry, Tilly. That's my bad. So yeah, she's pretty distraught after she told Paradigm that she wasn't sure that she was on the path that she was going to stay on, and then Paradigm literally blew up the base, told Impasse about Impact being her dad. Impasse left. Residents wiped out. Tilly hasn't been here. So she went home to her mom and was like trying to get in contact with Impact so that they could talk about the fact that they've both been keeping secrets. And Spectre's not down with that anymore. So, and she wants to fix her friendships because the team was her family and now they're all gone. So, yeah.
Cool. So things are great, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
TLDR. Everything's fine. Nothing's on fire. Oh, at least not anymore, because the fire department came out and put it out. So I think I know where Fade is right now. And I think we'll do a little bit of a not necessarily strictly linear bit of a montage of some establishing scenes. So, we open issue 4 with like a few callbacks of like a smoking crater where the impound used to be, and lots of yelling and things like that. The reveal of Spectre's parentage. And then we're going to cut to a series of kind of vignettes with the various different characters. So Fade is for sure in an office at the Aegis headquarters. No, Fade is for sure coming home to the Murphy household, where she has just been placed with Marie and Martin Murphy, both of whom are similarly former harbingers, people who came from different realities, different future branches. So they're perfect. They are perfectly suited to be able to guide you in the path. And they are asking you what happened in your most recent counseling session with your handler / counselor. So that's one. Where is Spectre right now?
I think she's just at home.
Yes.
That's been her romping ground.
At home
Maybe
with your
out on-
mom, Violet
yeah.
Scepter, who is showering you with attention and, you know, trying to like, oh, let's just fly to Paris. It'll be fun. And, you know, maybe you're a little bit less down to jet set at the moment. So she's just, as usual, a whirlwind, and trying everything that she can in her not particularly motherly way to pull you out of your doldrums. And we know that Deadlock is going to arrive at Resonance's front doorstep. Where is Tilly?
I don't how immediately after this, like if she's leaving the inquest and she's all like, no one's responded to my messages, she probably goes to the compound and goes like, it's on fire.
Yes.
Huh. And then probably after helping put out the fire, as superheroes are wont to do, probably it's going to be messaging Resonance. I wouldn't be surprised if she also ends up there immediately afterwards.
Okay. Yeah. So, and maybe that first establishing montage of what has occurred at the end of the last issue is more Tilly first seeing the smoking crater, acting to control the destruction, and then through, because no one's returning anyone's calls, then through witness accounts and recovering data from the impound's computer system, et cetera, kind of piecing together the events of the last issue while you were at the inquest. And there's some public accounts of, you know, I mean, the town hall disappeared into a pocket dimension. And now there's apparently a species of little tiny people who have been granted naturalized citizen status here in Halcyon City. So there's a lot to catch up on, which means it takes Tilly probably 1.7 seconds to absorb all the information. Cool. Let's start with, since Zodi is back, let's start with the most painful conversations, which are going to be Fade. So, Marie and Martin. Marie, her former super name was Flashback, and Martin was known as the Prophet. They had similar experiences to you, which is they were sent back in time or traveled back to prevent some sort of apocalypse and then found themselves caught up in the twisted skein of causality. And similar to your experience, found that every time they tried to alter the future, they just made things worse or advanced whatever apocalyptic reality they were trying to prevent. Their firm belief is that time travel is a problem. It is not a solution to any issue. It is likely the fact that folks in the future have the ability to travel in time that causes a lot of the chaos, which is probably a little bit reassuring to you, Fade, because that absolves you of a little bit of responsibility in terms of your appearance and existence here in this time frame. What they stop short of is absolving you for your choices after you arrived. And that is the subject of your conversation with your handler. So, as you were talking to Marie and Martin, who are friendly, but in a kind of corporate way, like they're welcoming and nice, but like every time
They're Aegis agents.
Yeah.
They're cordial.
Yes, cordial is a good word. Every time you sit down to the dinner table with them, it's more like a board meeting than it is like hanging out with family. So they ask you to report your most recent conversation with Quentin Rodriguez, your handler. So then we switch frames and you are in his office. How are you feeling today, Fade?
Not as bad, but nowhere near where I should be.
Well, he pulls up a little pad and looks at it. It looks like your body's responding well to the power inhibitor. Any prophetic dreams?
No, everything has been silent.
So no.
Blissfully silent.
Excellent. So no stray telepathic readings, nothing like that?
Nope.
Good.
Nope. Everything's quiet. I mean, the ability to have everything be quiet has heightened everything else, but that could also be, whatever Aegis did when they decided to shut down my powers.
Oh no, that's just guilt.
Thanks. You're not helping.
No, I think honesty is very helpful. But it's common among people like you that once the illusion of some grand purpose is proved to be false, you have a chance to go back and re-examine some of the choices that you've made. So my question for you, Fate, is are you ready to make things right? If you're going to integrate successfully into this timeline, you're going to have to make a space for yourself. And it's very hard to do that if you build a new life on unstable foundations of hurt feelings and resentment.
In the essence of all honesty, I don't know. I want the team back together. I want to be there for them. I want to make amends. But I'm scared.
That's perfectly natural.
What if they don't want me back? What if they don't want to be back?
Well, you'll never know until you try. I think the only advice I would give to you is that while it is important to acknowledge your peace, it's probably also going to be important not to make it all about you.
Obviously, I know it's not completely about me, other than the fact that I fell for someone from the future who had a huge impact on my life, kept it from the entire team, blew up the base. I mean, I know it's a team effort. Can we just place blame on Tilly? She wasn't there.
Yes. Well, part of growing up is realizing that your choices are your own. And that...
Are they, though?
They are. They always have been. We've covered this, Fade. The time travel psychosis that causes many people who go through what you've gone through to believe there's some sort of grand pattern or fate or destiny that they have to struggle against is well understood. And luckily, treatable in most cases. As long as you stick with your regimen, you should be fine, mentally. But to heal psychologically, you're going to have to repair the things that tie you to this time frame. And that's your relationships. So, we'll talk next week and you can fill me in on your progress.
Yay.
And this is more or less... Now, how do you relate that conversation to the Murphys?
In the typical teen way, it went fine.
Martin and Marie glance at each other and kind of go, well, if there's anything that you feel like you need to talk about, you can always talk to us. Our door is open. I mean, not our actual door, but just send us a text. Send us a text if you want to sit down and talk.
They don't. I'm going to my room.
All right, then. Dinner's at 8.
she's going to avoid them like the plague. You know, they're trying, but it's not the right sort of trying. She's just like, no, you're a foster family. No,
Right.
thank you.
We as Fade stalks upstairs, we get a close shot of Marie and Martin, and Maria's kind of like rolling her eyes, and Martin like puts his hand over hers, and it's like, it'll be fine. It just takes time, you know that. So they're real people that are seem reasonably nice. So Fade goes up to her room to stew.
She's going to attempt to send a text message to Spectre.
Oh,
And it's
all
going
right.
to read, you ready? Are you ready? Hey.
Cool. So, all right then, Spectre. We are at your mom's. It's like a brownstone, but it's like two brownstones. So like she bought one, and then the neighbors decided that it was advantageous for them to move to Aruba or something. So she was able to pick up the neighboring brownstone for relatively cheap, and then spend a bunch of money on getting it renovated. And it's like, you know, there's like a secret lair underneath, and there's lots of secret stuff, and there's like an advanced computer system, and a nigh impenetrable vault where she keeps all of her cool stuff. But it is, you know, it's a fashionable neighborhood, and it's very kind of modern and redone on the inside. Lots of big, you know, flat screens integrated into the wall, a robot butler, because they don't talk back. Which probably is a little, you know, shades of missing Tilly, because the robot butler is similarly very friendly and accommodating and helpful, only it's not fully sentient, so it like doesn't really it every time you try to engage in an actual conversation, it kind of, you know, that's outside my parameters. What else can I do for you? Yeah, so you get a ping on your phone.
I think I was down in the training room, just beating the crap out of some holograms.
Yeah.
Take a break, check phone, and open it up because it's time to face some hard truths. So, what's your text say, Fade?
Literally, hey.
Just hey.
It just says, hey.
You up? I mean, it doesn't say that.
He was gonna, hey, ...
And then, big movement here. I'm sorry.
For which part?
Yes.
For what explicitly?
Yeah, what exactly?
Which of the
are you
laundry
sorry
list
for?
of things?
Because there's a long list that Spectre's been thinking about since things went down.
That's what it's gonna take a minute for her to, you know, type up. I'm sorry for how I handled things. Sorry for ruining our coffee maker. I'm sorry for not being there for you when you needed me to be there for you, and focusing on myself. So the stuff that she's learning from Quentin is sticking, but she's just like, I'm sorry for everything. You know, she's a teenager. She doesn't know how to individualize. She gives blanket sorries.
Spectre's gonna breach a code of conduct in teenage communications and press the call button.
Ooh. So we're switching to those like diagonally divided frames with, you know, Spectre in the top right corner, the top left corner, and Fade in the lower left.
Don't you mean what's that? Haven't you used what's that FaceTime? Like,
Oh, right.
what's that?
Calling it. We're FaceTiming.
Yeah.
No, not
No,
FaceTime. It's called
not
what's
FaceTime.
that voice call, video call.
what's that?
It's not. I don't know what
Yeah.
Ace time is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not using cameras. Spectre is not.
No.
Oh.
She's got some training. She's sweaty and gross.
I'm
So-
not ready for this.
So it's a
regular
call.
phone call.
Fade's face is there, and there's just like a little
Yeah.
symbol because Spectre's not. No, yeah,
Spectre's not doing it.
cool.
I mean, I don't. Fade would probably clip hers off if she's not there. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
So
One
awkward
side
moment.
face this. We'll just chat. Hi.
So you're on WhatsApp, but you have both of your cameras disabled.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And using, making granted. Actually, she'll do this. Just so you're aware, they're listening to this conversation. I am heavily monitored. Anything that is here is probably being recorded for future training purposes.
And I live with my mother. Do you really think that I don't assume I'm being watched at all times? She's been like a hawk. It's been ridiculous.
From down the hallway, you hear, "I'm not that bored, sweetie."
Anyways.
I want to try to fix things. I've been doing literally a lot of soul searching. I'm giving up being Paradigm. I still want to be a part of the team, I guess. And I kind of need it to start with you. Because you were the person who, I cared about everybody, but I've really, her face is bright red, so she's grateful that camera's off. I still really like you, and I'm not saying we should get back together.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Ton of bricks.
Red, did you really care about everyone on the team? Because I know you did for me at least a little bit, but the way that you treated Impasse and Resonance, can you really say that you cared about them? You got defensive over every single thing that they said to you and then blew up because they were making jokes about our relationship like friends do. And you took it way too close to heart.
Yeah.
And then you let that blind you to the fact that I finally told Impasse what happened. Impasse and Resonance both walked out, and you just blew up. You didn't listen to anything that I had to say to you.
I'm aware.
Look, I was really angry when I left that building. And a lot of it was at myself. Some of it was at you, and honestly everybody else except for Tilly, because Tilly had nothing to do with it.
She wasn't there.
No, she wasn't. She's like an alien. What did you think was gonna happen when she told Aegis about that? They were just gonna be like, yeah, cool, whatever, have a good day. Like, you
I mean,
blew up
maybe.
the account that you've been missing for ages. I'm not angry with Tilly. I was never angry with Tilly.
Yeah, same.
But if we're going, because I miss you guys. I do. And I miss you as a friend. But
Higher!
What?
Nothing. Just allergies. They're real bad this time of year, you know?
Sure. Right. Look, if we're going to try to make amends with the team, because I would like that, and I would like to have you guys back, you're gonna have to start treating everyone a little bit better and not get butthurt if someone tells you something that you don't like. Like, hey, don't try to forcibly read my mind when I don't want to tell you things. Or, hey, it's kind of funny that you're dating somebody that you idolize from the future. Weird. Ha ha ha. Moving on. So do you think you
Well,
can do that?
I mean, the mind thing, yeah, absolutely. I haven't had thoughts, telepathic thoughts, and thoughts that weren't my own since my containment.
In a way,
My
I think
powers
that's
have been
for the
nullified.
best.
I agree. You will not find me arguing with that. Should we maybe call Tilly? I think she's going to be the foundation that we're going to need to attempt to get everybody together.
We can try to ask Tilly if we can coordinate a meeting with everyone, I guess. I haven't kept in contact with anyone, so I don't know what all happened after everyone left. I've talked with Tilly a little bit, but not a lot.
You're the first person that I reached out to. You were
I'm not surprised.
the most important one to reach out to because of the damage that I had done. So
Emotional damage. I appreciate the apology. I don't think I can fully forgive you just yet, but we can try to be friends again.
All right.
It's a step in the right direction.
It is. So, Fade, I would like you to roll 2 things. First, roll to comfort and support. Which is a plus mundane.
Oh, good. So that's 2d6, right?
2d6 plus your mundane.
So 2d6. We got a 5.
And you don't currently have influence over Spectre, correct?
At the bottom it said that I did, but I don't think that I do. I think the only person I still technically have influence over is Tilder.
Okay. I think, yeah, Spectre is shaking your head, so we'll say that you don't. So, yeah, okay, so what is your 2d6 roll?
It was a 5.
Do you want to do something about that? Because that's not good.
I'm gonna make use of one of those the one and only major boon because damn it, I need it.
Yes. So if this goes well, it's all because Morrow is kind.
So I re-roll.
And remember, you can re-roll 1, so that was like a 6 and a 1.
Yep.
Thanks, Sin.
I got a 5. So we'll replace that 1 and we'll make it a 9.
Oh, that's good. So, you, Spectre, may mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels. Because you were being fairly frank, I'm going to say that you did open up. So,
yeah.
Would you like to clear one of your condition, one of your mini conditions?
Yeah, sure. I think I feel a little less insecure after that conversation. Feel a bit more ready to actually face everyone after what happened.
Getting some things off your chest makes you feel less insecure. Awesome. Now, Spectre, you are telling Fade about herself. Which in this context, I think, is a chance to shift her labels. And you are trying to shift probably in the direction of accountability, right? So you can accept that, Fade, or you need to roll to reject someone's influence. Your choice, whether you listen and respond and internalize, or whether you want to reject.
So
Zodi. Oh, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Sorry, what was that?
Spectre is sharing with you how she views you. You can choose to accept that and shift labels, or you need to roll to resist.
I'm going to accept it.
All right. So, Spectre, what do we think? I think mundane or possibly savior up, right? We're talking about accountability.
I think freak down.
Okay, so which one goes up?
I think mundane, because she's trying to get her to relate to people more so than being like heroic.
And trying to help in some way with the reconciliation process, which is often going to rely on mundane. So that is very helpful feedback. So fade, mundane up, freak down.
+1, -1.
Cool.
They were both zeros.
So resonance.
Yes.
Your mother is also being super extra.
Yeah.
But by contrast, I mean, I think Violet Scepter is probably a little bit more sympathetic because your mother's very focused on one, none of those people were good enough for you. I mean, we should never have let you associate with them anyway. I mean, who are they anyway? They're nobodies. And look at the risk that this puts your brand under. We need to be much more selective about the people that we allow you to team with in the future, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like really being stage mom.
So as a player, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If I play something, by sharing my screen, some audio, would the stream be able to hear it?
If it goes through Discord, it should.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it will.
Yeah, it should.
You'd have to watch stream. Do you see what I mean? I'd have to share my screen, so you'd have to watch my screen for the audio to play. Do you see what I mean?
Oh, I was thinking
It's on your computer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there a? Oh, I don't know.
If you watch it, it will be the Discord audio. You wouldn't have to change anything, but you just have to watch the stream. Do you see what I mean?
Let's give it a try.
Okay, so just to tell you what I'm doing, is as Rachel right now, I've been watching a lot of Nashville. So what I've learned from that is that when anyone has any drama in their life, they go back to the studio and record an album. So
yeah,
I'm currently in my home studio. That's what I've learned from Nashville. If you're a country artist, you're going through any kind of problem, you make an album. Okay?
Yes.
So right now I'm in the studio, which means I'm also going to do this because that's what everyone does in a studio, right? They only wear it on one ear. Okay, so let's see.
Let's see if it works.
Let's see if this works. Okay. This is a song that Resonance has written, and it's not about anyone at all. It's not a... So let's see if you can hear it first. Tell me if you can hear it, and then I can turn it up if you need me to. Can people hear it? Yeah? Okay, cool. I'll take it back. Here we go. Gotta turn it up now because I've already got my headphone on. Here we go. This is a song not about anyone at all. I'm getting him rested. Turn it up. Oh, wait. Take three. You hear it now? Okay. It's pretty, isn't it? I thought I could trust in you, but you broke my heart in two. You think you didn't lie, but the truth you did hide from me. You deceived. Secrets break hearts, they tore us apart. They eat at your soul when you don't tell the whole truth. You didn't tell the truth. Okay, take 5, Johnny, take 5.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Yep. So
Lala's version.
yes.
Okay, anyway.
Cool. So yes, we
Not
see.
about anyone in particular.
Yes, of course, definitely not. And make
Called
sure.
out and personally attacked by
Right.
that song.
So
Oh my gosh, that's
so
great.
we see residents in the studio at her mom's house. Her mom's like palatial mansion out in the suburbs that
Yeah.
has been bought on the back of residences' earnings, of course. And your mom has fully adopted the whole like jet setter mentality. Only it certainly wasn't that way when you were growing up, so it's a little bit of a show. But and I think we had established that the doorbell's going to ring, right? Deadlock.
Yes.
Well, that happens. So we cut from this to seeing Deadlock standing, or Devon, I suppose, standing
It's
outside.
not a normal doorbell. It's like dun, 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 dun.
It's your first top 40 hit.
Yeah. And it's definitely got a camera on it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Devon's probably like, laying low.
Hello? Hello, who's there?
It's Devon.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
You all right?
Yeah. Could I maybe?
Oh, you want to come in? But
Yes.
She'll walk in. She's just got like a duffel bag that she probably grabbed from one of their grab bag places. Probably threw impacts away.
How you doing? You look different.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Nice glasses.
How are you? Thank you.
I'm good. I've just been in the studio a lot. You know how it is. Just putting into the music.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Mm. So do you want to come in?
Yeah.
Cool. You have a bag with you. Where have you been staying?
Around.
That's not great. Do you need a shower?
That would be really, really great. Thank you.
Okay, if you go like to the right and 4 doors down, that's the best guest room. And the rainfall shower is amazing. So you should definitely try that one. Do you need something to eat or drink or anything?
I mean, I don't want to,
No, you're not imposing.
Probably.
Like we've got like a chef who lives here. Like, do you want something?
Yes.
Hey, Dave! Like really, really exotic chef, just so you know. Dave!
It's cool.
What do you want?
Just whatever. Fine.
What's your favorite? I can't remember what your favorite was.
Just plain chicken and rice.
Oh, Devin makes a Devin, you're Devin. Dave makes a mean chicken and rice. Dave, voy a eat arroz. I don't know why I said it in Spanish.
Yeah. Dave comes in. He's just like, what?
He's not Spanish. I'm trying out new things. I'm trying to like extend myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes I randomly talk in Spanish because I've been listening to like this podcast. It's about like Spanish all the time. So sometimes it just comes out. I'm so cultured, Anyway, Dave, chicken and rice?
Yeah.
Just plain.
Yeah. I don't,
Yeah, Dave, yeah.
All right. He kind of comes in. This guy is someone who probably regrets everything in his life because it's a very demanding set. I mean, the pay is good, but it's very kind of just like. So we see him flinch as soon as he hears your voice, and he kind of runs in and, yeah, I could do that. 30 minutes.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks,
Organic, free range.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Okay. Anything else?
No, brilliant. Thanks, Dave.
All right. And then he scampers off, and you hear like far, far away in the mansion, some rather nervous banging of pots.
So what's with the new look? I'm not saying I don't like it. Like rebranding, it's a thing. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, I just thought it would be. I don't really want to be associated with a liar, you know.
Oh, I get that. Should hear my new song. Actually, it's kind of all about that, but it's not about anyone in particular. It's just I felt inspired at the time. But yeah, I mean, if you ever need to like an outlet, writing things down, great. Or smashing some guitars. I've got some guitars. Do you want to smash them?
That's okay.
They're the cheaper end ones. I have a cupboard that's specifically just for smashing guitars. It's the cheap guitar cupboard. And it's, you know, if you want to feel a bit rock and roll. Or, you know, for photo shoots where they want you to look a bit rock and roll. But like I smashed one earlier. I might just go smash one in a minute. Just get it out, get the anger out. Some people punch bags, smash a guitar.
Yeah,
Which reminds me, have you been keeping up with the training? Like that.
Not lately.
No.
Which is weird. Kind of just been bouncing around.
Well, I mean, if you go down the hall past that room and then keep going to the end, there's a gym. Underneath it, there's the sauna and the indoor swimming pool. So feel free.
Oh, thank you.
Did you want to come for a reason, or I'm just talking your head off, like, because I haven't seen you for ages? But like, what was the reason you came?
Well, I didn't really have anywhere else to go.
Oh, you know how to make someone feel good.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. Like, that's fine. I mean, at least you thought of me, right? That's more than probably before. So, progression.
Yeah. Progression.
Well, I mean, if you want, you
I'm
can stay here for a long while. I mean, I can get someone to redecorate your room if you want it like a particular way. If you're feeling like this kind of moody vibe, I'm sure we can paint it like a different color.
Thanks. That's really nice. I don't think that's all necessary. I do want to say sorry for, I know I was a little strict with the team and very, I ran it pretty the way Impact wanted it to be ran, and very much kept deferring to Impact instead of you guys. So sorry about that.
I mean, look, I've got I have quite my mum can be a bit, a bit much. She can be a little bit, like controlling. So I get it, 100%. And the thing for me is like, yeah, okay, we didn't vibe all the time. No, we didn't click all the time. But the thing for me is you were always honest about who you were and like what you wanted. And so even if those conflicted, I didn't really hugely have an issue with that because you always were very clear about your expectations, what you wanted out of it, what you wanted out of us, what you thought things should be. And, I might not always agree with that, but actually it's better to know where you stand. And I feel like I always knew where you stood. So that was always fine with me.
Yeah. Same here. And like some other people.
I mean, when I have to do the falsified things, believe me, it's not me who wants to do them. It's part and parcel of the package, which can be very tiring at times. But yeah, I mean, should we go check out your room and just like, do you want to chill out for a bit? You seem that you've not had much time to just...
Yeah, that'd be good.
Cool. Well, feel free to go to your room and I will see you in a bit. Dave will bring you food.
Cool.
Okay, bye.
So I think perhaps at this time there is another ring at the doorbell. Tilly?
Yes. Ring the doorbell.
Hello.
Hello, Resonance. Yeah, the base was on fire. I helped put it out, and I was wondering what happened. Also, I'm done with the inquest. Good news, I get to be around.
Nice. The base is on fire.
Yes, there's a smoldering crater.
A crater.
Well,
I've been
that
in
might
the
be
studio so long. I didn't watch the news. Okay.
it might be an exaggeration.
It isn't.
Okay. Well, I know what you're like. So what were the exact dimensions of this crater?
Yes,
it really isn't, and it's been all over the news.
Yeah,
but I've been in the studio.
that's true. You have been in studio.
So what are
I
the
will give
exact
you-
dimensions of this
I
crater?
give you the dimensions. It's basically the size of the property in total, with a depth of up to 50 feet.
Yeah.
I'd say that seems reasonable.
That's definitely a crater. 100%.
Yes.
Do you want to come in, Tilly?
Oh, yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, come in. Buzz.
Yeah.
Have you been here before, Tilly?
Probably. I think Resonance might have invited me over. I think we hang sometimes. Well, hang, because I don't... Sure. Teenage things.
Watches her eat. Finish
Yeah.
guitars.
Yeah, Dave knows me.
Okay.
Tilly's got a whole cupboard of fake things to make her feel more human in the kitchen.
Okay. Yes. And so Dave will come out. And then he's got like 2 plates of chicken and rice. And then he can't figure out what to do with his hands. And so he's like, hey, hang on a second. And then he hands you both of the plates. And then he runs back and pulls out a tray and puts some of the fake stuff on it for you. And then does the awkward waiter thing where he stacks. Are you going to the studio?
No, we'll go to the third guest room that way. That's where I've put
Up both flights of stairs. Okay, yeah.
No,
great.
not the stairs. Just down the.
Oh, okay.
The
So
ground floor one.
So
Thanks, Dave.
he'll toddle off.
Dave's the best.
Yes.
He's
makes
sweating
excellent food.
profusely.
He's very nervous all of the time.
Yeah, I don't know why. Some people
Me
just have that
neither.
disposition.
I show a chart of his heart rate.
Oh my goodness, Dave, slow down.
Sure.
Okay.
Spike right then.
Right. Every time he hears his name is
I'm like-
Paul, by the way, but he's given up arguing about it.
Devin's here.
Oh,
Yeah. That was a surprise to me too. But they're here and they've gone to their room to chill out for a bit. But Dave's going to take them some food. So we could always pop along and say hi in maybe give them 5 minutes to chill for a bit.
okay.
You've got Dave going in there and then us. That's a bit much.
Yes. While we're chilling, can you explain what happened while I was gone?
I mean, so much happened and not much at all. So basically, people had been we went on that trip, right? The school trip that you
Yes.
couldn't come on because you were with the people, and also you don't go to the school.
Yes, I heard it was trapped in another pocket dimension.
Yeah. I mean, don't you love dresses with pockets? Oh wait, you don't. No, it's fine. So yeah, that's what we went in a pocket dimension, but on that trip, it turns out that Spectre and Paradigm were in a secret relationship that nobody knew about, and they weren't telling anyone. They were keeping stuff from us, and all this jazz. And then even more secrets upon secrets upon secrets. Turns out that Impact is Spectre's dad.
Oh.
I felt like I was on, like, you know, one of those programs. Like, you know, have you seen those programs where they're like, you are not the father? You know those ones? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen this?
Yes, I've just downloaded them now. Yes.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Don't watch all of them.
It's too late. I've already watched them all.
Oh my goodness. Are you okay?
I will be fine.
You have 1,000 hours of Perry Winger in your short-term memory now.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like that. So then obviously Impasse had this, you know,
and Murray Blowich,
crisis.
yes.
Yeah, had this full identity crisis of, like, you know, he's lied to me. He's always told me to be honest and all this. And then he's not telling me this. And we've been fighting this Violet forever. And now it turns out that they're related. And I was like a child to them. And it was like a Shakespearean tragedy, you see?
Yeah,
right?
So quick go back. So remember when I got stabbed by the alien and then reformed and so on, all that stuff. So I was told then that keeping secrets was good, and I might have. I actually don't remember who gave me that important lesson.
You, Tilly.
Yes.
You have a photographic memory, as you are AI with alien technology.
Yeah.
Don't remember who told you that secrets were good.
Well, okay, the player doesn't actually remember here. Okay, so it was Spectre. Oh, yes, it was Spectre who told me that secrets are good. Unrelatedly to that, also Spectre let me know that she thought that Impact might have been her father and asked me to confirm this. So I wasn't 100% sure, but given some of the DNA analysis samples that I had been doing after the fact, it seemed very likely. Would this have been good information to actually have shared with the team at a sooner time?
No, because you shouldn't have been put in a situation where you were expected to keep a secret from us. That's an unfair situation for you to have been put in. It was not your responsibility to tell us who Spectre's father was, because that's not your information to tell.
Okay, so...
Right? So you keeping a secret for her is not bad per se, because you've been asked to do that, but I think it's unfair for you to be asked to do that, because that puts you in a situation with your other friends and your other teammates. What the problem was, and why I think Impasse felt so hurt, is because obviously Impact was their father figure and their mentor, and Spectre was meant to be their friend, and almost like Impasse and Spectre had this like really tight-knit friendship where Spectre almost treated Impasse like their mentor and their bot, like always saw them as the leader, but yet didn't share this information with them. And then I thought we were friends and didn't share the information with me either. And then it wasn't just that, it was the fact that these two people who are members of our team had a relationship that could have very well have, you know, caused problems within the team. And then they just kept it from us. So
1 second, player-wise, did I know that Spectre and Fade were dating at the time?
Probably not.
Okay.
Or you may have formulated a first order approximation based on observation, but I don't think it had been shared.
A bit like what Ash did.
Yeah. That's it. All right, carry on. Sorry. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, so you know how
What
to
I was knowing.
So yeah, so like it's a difficult thing, and that's why secrets can cause problems because you know some people should know information, and if you don't tell them, it shows that you don't trust them.
So
because
unlike Perry Winger, I should not be yelling, "You are not the father," or "You are the daughter."
Yeah,
That
don't do
Sure.
that. That's not particularly appropriate behavior.
Okay.
That
Wait,
behavior is you know how I have to like do certain things for like publicity, and certain things within my life are not real.
Yes.
They're there for the drama.
Yes.
That's what that is. So it's entertainment by like real life kind of making a situation more elevated than it actually is. But yes, no, don't go yelling that at your friends.
So our base was destroyed for the drama.
No, I imagine our base was destroyed. Well, do you know what? I don't know because I've been in the studio, but I know I left and it was fine.
I have some
I
hypothesis
walked
on this.
past Spectre when I was leaving, and she was in the room with Paradigm, I think. I don't know where Impasse was at this point, but I have no idea why the base. But that wasn't for the drama because we don't want the drama.
Unless Impasse blew it up.
Yeah.
This is Impasse. Get rid of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could do some analysis if you went back there and you could figure out the cause of it, and because I know you'd be able to find like here's where it started. This is the approximation of the point. This is the thingy, and this is the blast radius, and I know
some analysis, and I have the hypothesis, but we'll see.
In
reality, she just texted Spectre and it was, oh, this is what happened.
It was
Spectre's been on hold the whole time.
It was contained to literally the base area. The way I see it is Ash was there, not able to be seen because he did not want to be a target. But anytime something was like flying where it shouldn't be flying, he's just like throwing up a hard light wall to make it bounce back into the storm that was happening.
Yeah, that seems likely.
Yeah, the crater is the lower half of a perfect sphere.
Yeah.
I mean,
might
now
not
partly
match.
filled in with smoldering wreckage. The smoldering wreckage of your former lives.
But yeah, I was still together when I left, so.
Well, that is good to hear. Should I be mentioning the whole I knew the thing about the father thing to Impasse, or?
I mean, again, it's up to you. You can, but it's kind of a moot point now in the sense of like, as I said to you, it wasn't your information to tell, and they know now. So you telling them that you know, that you knew. I mean, I think they felt like everybody already knew anyway. To be fair, everybody did know except me. I found out in the kitchen.
Oh.
Drinking a nice smoothie. I can't drink that smoothie anymore, you know. It ruined it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Just leaves a bad taste in my mouth now. It was delicious.
It was. That was a really good smoothie maker.
Yeah. Just can't look at them the same. They tell my stomach. So anyway, should we go see Devon? They said Devon, so I'm going to respect the fact that like they didn't address themselves as Impasse. So, and they, just to brace you, they look kind of different. Like they've got a whole different vibe going on.
That's fine.
So maybe call them Devon. Just to respect the name that they introduced themselves to me as. Like when they buzzed the buzzer, they said, "Hey, it's Devon." And then yeah, we'll see. Come on, it's this way.
All right, so you join up with Devon / Shudlock in the guest room. It's very, very nice, and have some lovely kind of catching up. And the nice thing is that Resonance's, I think, pretty mature take on the situation helps to kind of smooth over any of the rough edges. Resonance. It seems like in helping Tilly understand the culpability or lack thereof in terms of keeping secrets, that's kind of a comfort and support.
Okay.
So I would like you to roll to comfort and support.
2d6 again, yeah.
Yes.
Whee! I got 10.
Ooh, wow. That is going to be 2d. Yeah, that's plus mundane. You are comforting and supporting. That is going to be a full success. So, Tilly, you may mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels. And Resonance, you may add team to the pool or clear a condition yourself.
Well, I was going to ask, can I remove angry anyway? Because I said I smashed up some guitars.
Sure.
or because I feel like we would have done something in the
and honestly, even although it's not a destructive act, it is kind of cathartic, writing the song.
Me singing.
Yeah.
I destroyed my soul
Right?
singing it.
So you may remove angry as just part of the catharsis.
I don't think I'm angry anymore.
And then you may remove another one if you have one for helping Tilly out.
I only have. So I'll add team to the pool and I'll remove angry from like writing my songs and smashing my guitars and stuff. Yes. And yes, the smashed guitar pieces are crated up and sold at auction for local charities.
Yeah. Except for the pieces that your mom sells on the side on WeBay.
WeBay, yes. Yeah, like just the splinters. She'll put like one splinter from each guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just splinters of wood that she buys at Home Depot or something. Because they don't know the difference. Go ahead.
My lessons are pretty empty right now, so I'm going to put one in from there because I feel like this might be a never fill other people's beans, so to say. Like that's their thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And so if you aren't clearing a condition, you can mark potential or shift labels.
I will mark potential.
Lovely. So everyone's feeling a little bit better. And honestly, no, I think the same thing. Welcoming Devon into your home and being so kind is another comfort and support, because you're literally providing comfort.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to roll again?
Yes, please.
I got 6, so that's a fail because I've got -2.
Yes. So it's actually 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you could boon that if you would like.
On re-roll?
Yeah.
Or re-roll 1 because I had a 5.
Yeah.
Well, she does pressure me into breaking some guitars. That would get rid of angry.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got punch bags as well and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's loads of stuff you could do. Hey, I got another 5, so that's 8.
Cool. So yes. All right. So Devon / Shudlock, you may and if what you'd like to do is take advantage of Resonance's offer and go and punch some bags or something like that to clear the angry condition.
Is running away, because I'm running away, but I'm not really running away. Okay.
The fact that you literally ran away from home and broke all ties with your mentor, I think running away, it definitely gets rid of the fear.
Cool. We got rid of 3 out of 4.
Awesome. So yeah, and adding team to the pool.
I mean,
see
we
if it's
can
working well.
definitely do some stupid stuff if you want.
Right.
But I bet this is where that influence comes in. Of
Yeah.
We can definitely do some stupid stuff. I mean, I'd quite like to do some stupid stuff with Tilly just to introduce her to stupid stuff of teens.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you've got two people that have never really rebelled and just been, because like Impasse has been very regimented.
So
Like for a meal, she asked for like plain chicken and rice. It's like she's used to very like plain, healthy. This is your diet. This is your workout routine. This is, you know.
Thank you, Misha, for doing the thing for me.
Spectre. So you've had a conversation with Fade and are probably thinking stuff. Your robot butler comes in the room. I would like you to assess the situation, please.
Boy. So that's a 7.
All right. Can I suggest that you spend that one hold to ask, what here is the biggest threat?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
All right. You don't notice it immediately because you're lost in thoughts, but as soon as your attention turns to your butler, we'll call him Jeeves, you realize that his eyes, which normally glow a lovely kind of soft blue, are now kind of an orangish red, and he's moving in a very jerky fashion. Something's not right with Jeeves.
Oh, Jeeves, I never wanted to hurt you. You make such good coffee in the morning. I'm gonna try to punch his head off.
I think that's directly engaging a threat, don't you?
Yep.
Try to fix him? No, only punches.
I think that's a 6. No, yep, that's a 6.
Which isn't awesome.
No. I would like to use a minor boon to bump that to a 7.
Seems like a good idea.
Cool. And I would like to take something from them by removing his head from his body.
Sure, why not? So you leap into action. So describe how you what shows in the frame as you leap from kind of looking out the window, lost in thought, to the glowing robot coming closer and closer to you from behind, turning around, assessing the situation, and then...
Yeah, so I think I'm like sitting on a bench, towel around the neck, cooling down from the workout, and then see him approaching, and at first it's like, oh, it's just Jeeves, he's probably just bringing me some water or something, and then doing the double take, and just instinct jump up and probably like roundhouse kick it.
Yep. And the head kind of spring, flies off, bounces a couple of times off the ceiling and the wall, and then spins really fast in the middle of the floor. The body kind of sits there with sparks shooting out the top, and then it falls flat backward. And then a little hatch on the chest opens up. And a little kind of like clamp on a rod extends out. And there is a very fancy letter with a and like it's like vellum, it's all folded over. There's a kind of maroon dark red wax seal with the letter V.
I'm like, I take it and I'm like, good lord, Mom, if you wanted to invite me to dinner, you didn't have to like make me hurt Jeeves for it.
Do you break the seal?
Yes.
It appears to be handwritten in impeccable penmanship. It is an invitation. So to paraphrase, hello, Spectre. It seems like you are at loose ends. We'd like to discuss with you an opportunity.
Is there
And there is a 40 character alphanumeric code. If you're interested, just solve the riddle.
Man, I need to get on the computer.
Residence Deadlock Tilder, you are sitting in the guest room and you hear tap, 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 tap outside on the window. There's a bird sitting on the windowsill, tapping.
Is it just tapping, or is it tapping like Morse code?
I think everyone can assess the situation.
Seth's bird. 10.
All right.
Let's assess the situation.
Plus superior.
The superior.
And I got a
I
9.
got 9.
So 2 9s. So which question would Deadlock and Residence like to ask?
What here can I use to understand the bird? I don't know.
Sure.
What do you think, SJ?
I think Devin's more concerned if it's something to do with impact. She doesn't want to be found. She doesn't want anything to really do with them right now.
Yeah, we can borrow from a different system and add something like who here is in control, or like is this some sort of impact thing? Sure.
Okay.
Tilly, yeah, you get
it's his MO to use these, but
yeah, Tilly, you get a couple questions.
Like what here is the biggest threat?
Sure.
And how could we best end this quickly?
Sure.
My question first is to Devon, though. I'm going to say, are you Snow White? And then I'm going to go, ah.
Right. So, we'll start with Deadlock. Deadlock, this is not Impact's MO. Resonance. You see that there is a tube attached to the bird's leg.
Like a tube, like a message tube.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Tilly, I think you assess 2 things. One is you see a very fine antenna coming out the back of the bird's head. But you assess it, and of course you have, senses that can passively scan. You're not picking up any significant cybernetics or like any explosive materials. So I think you assess that the bird itself is probably not a threat. But whatever message it's carrying might be.
Can I see if it's getting a signal from somewhere and where that signal might be coming from?
Yes, you can unleash your powers.
Cool. Let's see. That's a... Where's my freak at nowadays? It's only 1. I feel so normal. 12, though.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, pretty good.
That is extremely good. So you extend your senses, and there is a carrier wave. It is being bounced through. There's like a 5G chip, for all the conspiracy theorists. And it's being bounced through a number of cell relays in Halcyon City, in the Midwest, in Canada, and it's like bouncing globally. And you are, however, successful at tracing it back to a spot probably about 500 miles off the coast in the Atlantic. You pull up your geological survey data, and there's nothing there, at least as far as you can tell. But yes, this thing is being remote controlled from a great distance. And someone went to a lot of effort to bounce the signal around.
All right.
The other thing, because it's a 12 that you notice, at first you feel a sense of satisfaction that you were able to trace it back. And then you realize that not all of the mechanisms that could have been used to make it hard to trace it back were used, which makes you suspect that perhaps you were meant to follow the signal.
This was a solvable puzzle.
Yes.
Dang it.
So what do you do?
I will tell the others in the room, say, this bird is being controlled through a remote source about 500 miles off the coast. No known geological sources there. The message might be dangerous. Resonance, could you open the window?
Hold on. Me.
Yeah, it would be.
Lexi, please open guest room window.
Yeah. I don't trust Lexi. I've been told by some old ladies
Right.
that are great fans of mine.
Yes.
That Lexi shouldn't be trusted.
Yes.
So there's this really cool group. They write to me a lot, and they told me that their grandchildren listen to my music and not to trust Lexi, just as a warning. So I don't have Lexi in my house anymore. I have like a remote Wi-Fi thing, like that's not connected to the internet.
The door opens and the bird kind of like pops in.
I'm going to grab the note from it.
Yes.
Okay.
It flies away.
Well, it does. It flies away, and then there's a there's a big puff of feathers as it self-destructs.
Oh no, that was a real bird.
Seemed a little extra.
My emotional subroutine starts without me controlling it, and little fake tears, little holographic tears start going down my face as I calmly read the message while super sad about the bird.
I had just named it in my head.
You're right. Pete the pigeon. So it is a very similar message. It's not folded over and it's not sealed the way that we just saw Spectre receive, but it is a nice vellum, handwritten. And instead of a wax imprint, there's some sort of stamp at the bottom, a very distinctive V. And that same alphanumeric code.
Who's it addressed to?
It is addressed to Resonance.
Okay.
You know, fans are always trying the weirdest ways to get in touch with you now. It's so bizarre. Like, I've never seen this. It's really creative.
I blew up a bird, though.
I don't. Think
Yeah,
this
I don't like that.
That seems a
categorism.
little.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a
That's
thing.
a bit
Not
too
good
much. Like
kind of
people call
fan,
me
like-
extra.
Stalkery level.
Yes.
I think Tilly also receives a ping as I send her the picture of my letter of like, hey, this is weird.
Yes. And the
Okay, maybe it's not a fan.
the alphanumeric code is the same. Fade, you were up in your room, probably doing homework. Or at least,
Homework.
yeah, preparing to look like you're doing homework, at least, in case the Murphys come in and check on you. And so you're setting the stage. You're probably mostly just doodling and looking out the window, but you're setting the stage, and you pull out your linear algebra book. Right. And then like lay it down on your desk, and it opens up because there was something between the pages. Looks to be a note.
I'm gonna read the note.
Yes, it is identical to the note that Spectre received. Although, if you were to compare them, you would, since they are both handwritten, they're not complete. They're not exact facsimiles, but it's the same message, same alphanumeric code.
I guess I'm gonna. Send a picture of it. Actually, you know what? No, because she hasn't made amends with everybody yet. She hasn't reached out to Tilly. She's gonna take it downstairs to her parents and show them. She's gonna do the responsible thing.
Ah,
Oh, good job.
excellent. So, so Spectre has sent the photograph to Tilly, and Tilly now is looking at these side by side. You can see they are identical. What happens on that side of the house?
I'm going to send a message back to Spectre saying, I am at Resonance House. We have gotten the same message. Can I share this with them? Through the text. Also throwing in a few random emojis that don't make sense due to their popularity of being sent.
Eggplant,
Tilly, we
peach,
need to
water
get you to
splash.
stop. Yeah, we need to get you better emojis. I'm like, yeah, you can share it with them. I'm gonna try to run this code through my mom's computer and
You
see
just
if I
said
can
residence.
find
You didn't say
anything.
Devin was there.
I didn't say Devin was there. I probably should. We'll just include Resonance and also Devin is here.
Gosh dang it, tell her.
Yeah, there's like a really
Yeah.
long, like, you know, when you're doing the text and the little like dots pop up, it takes a very long time before.
And I'm like, are you having trouble typing?
You just get a thumbs up emoji, and then no, and then yes, and then whatever, just share it.
Okay. Cool. Now that I have permission, I will say I received correspondence from Spectre. She has also just received the exact same note with the same code.
Okay, so it's definitely not a fan then.
Yeah, I do not think a fan would normally hijack a bird and then explode it. Yes.
You don't know. Tilly.
They also
sometimes
probably
these
don't
people come out with the most wildest things. You
From
know,
a
that could be
500-mile offshore secret base?
who knows? It could be a really eccentric kind of, person who lives out at sea on a boat.
Noted.
Who knows? Who knows? People live on boats. So, got the same note. Did she send us the note? Because it's got this V at the bottom. And it doesn't her name start with a V or her mum's name start with a V?
Both.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought they're both V's. So,
Is okay. I will give you the actual number of people whose names start with V, including the list of all villains whose names start with a V. It's a very large number.
You also probably have record of Spectre's penmanship, which is
Yeah, I was
not
about to say the
good.
handwriting.
wow, I didn't think V names were that popular, but clearly. Is it because V is villain as well? Like, are they just trying to be like really on the nose?
There is a noted correspondence between this, yes.
Oh, I love that you know data.
Thank you. Speaking of the V, hey, you, Devin, do you still have access to the files? Is this familiar at all?
I'm not accessing anything that's impacts.
There. Don't worry, I'll take a look. Does this V look familiar? Is there a way I can figure that, like, do some searching on whether this is stylized V is for something or other?
I think this is Unleash Your Powers.
Okay.
I do like a modified all the best stuff to use the computer to try to find something.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a 10.
Ooh, all right. So this is for Tilly, this is effectively extending your senses by networking in with a bunch of different computers and databases, etc. There are a lot of potentials. There's not a lot to go on here. However, in the archives, there were a series of kidnappings in the 70s. A group of largely of children and teens who were like maybe like none of them were old enough to have likely come into their powers, but the suspicion was that they were incipient mutants. And there was a ransom demand for each of them. And the signature is very similar. There was speculation at the time that this was organized by the super secret dastardly society known as Venom.
I'll let them know about this tidbit of information.
Yes.
Probably send Spectre a large paragraph.
And or a link to Wikipedia. So, Spectre.
I got an 11.
Beautiful. So it takes maybe a minute to identify what the encryption key is, and to crank through, and to arrive at its longitude and latitude. And your mother's computer system identifies a spot 500 miles off the coast in the middle of the Atlantic.
Oh no!
And
Spectre's like, nope.
And I'm going to say, Tilly, probably because of that success, because you're really digesting every piece of data, you have a subroutine that's also breaking the encryption. And it returns with the same location that you'd picked up through your backtrace.
He just gets a message of why did it have to be in the middle of the ocean?
I send a Wikipedia link to like boat safety.
Right.
And so I'm just like, that doesn't make me feel
Learn to
better.
sail.
Yeah.
Some YouTube videos.
It's fine. Just have a minor aquaphobia. It's all good.
Oh, one of our members has like electricity powers. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Other ones have a robot full of electronics.
We'll just call on Ash and ask him if he can make this a hard light boat.
Yeah, easy enough. He'll be more than happy to help.
I'm also gonna send a picture to Fade.
I've got to say that my uncle got us my godfather got us a rocket. I'm sure he can get us a boat.
Probably so.
Just gonna say.
Yeah.
Side note.
Yeah, I think William Shatner probably owns a boat or two.
Yeah.
If that picture is coming in, I'm also going to show that to Marie and Martin. Like, making them aware that something stupid is about to happen, and that she may have to go and do something stupid.
Well, they take a look, and then they share a knowing exchange. And then Marie goes and picks up the phone, hits speed dial. Put me through to the director, please. Hi, this is Marie. They've reached out. Will do. They wait with you, and a few Aegis agents arrive, and will take the letter. They'll copy the contents of your phone. They probably already have that.
Yeah.
And they will whisk you off to Aegis headquarters.
Fantastic. Just where I wanted to be.
To be briefed. You're taken down into one of the sublevels. And a number of men and women in black. No name tags. These are not people that you have met. But an older gentleman will come in and sit down at the table with you. Fade, is it?
Yes.
How are you feeling today, Fade?
I am so tired of that question.
That
I'm
isn't an
fine.
answer. Good. Well, as I'm sure you're aware, part of the condition of your not being incarcerated is to serve as an Aegis agent.
Mm-hmm.
As we have anticipated, our counterpart is seeking to take advantage of the disunity among your team to recruit you. You will allow yourself to be recruited, and you will do what is necessary to ensure that your team is recruited as well. This is an opportunity not only to gather information about this organization's current aims and goals and resources, but also to place an Aegis agent in close proximity to their leadership. Do you understand?
Yep.
Very well.
Put people in danger for the greater good. Am I allowed to tell them, my team, am I allowed to inform them that we're going to be infiltrating? Because, like, secrets is how I got here. Literally, right here, in front of you. I don't want to keep anything from them.
Considering it's unlikely that they'll trust anything that you have to say at this point, I suggest that openness and honesty is probably a good tactic.
Sounds good to me. When do I ship out?
I suggest you do what's needful to get back in good with your former group. Strike while the iron is hot.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm assuming he would have some sort of like phone service in the sub levels. If not, then obviously her text message to Val is gonna have to wait. Okay, so she's gonna fire off another text message. Got the same letter. Aegis is aware. Need help. Can we meet up with the others?
Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Sure. Where?
Can't explain right now. We'll explain face to face.
Do I need to contact Tilly?
Yes.
Okay, then Tilly will get a message. Can we all meet up? Question mark. I know it's gonna be awkward. ... But please.
Tilly will send the clown emoji and then ask the group in the room, like, it sounds like Spectre and do we know what's Fade right now?
No.
Okay.
You guys are unaware of her new name. But you do know her real name, which is Ren.
Yeah.
Okay. Spectre and Ren also have the message, and we need to meet up. It seems likely that we will have to at least if we are all going to the same place because we are summoned by whatever this is, for whatever reason, it seems likely that we will see them no matter what.
I didn't get an
Yeah, I don't want to
invitation.
go.
Okay. And then I'll reply back as Spectre, the no.
I want to do makeovers.
Yeah, I need to
and-
rebrand.
Yeah.
Resonance is good at that stuff.
Yeah, but before that, I want to do like makeovers that mean that people don't know who we are, and then I want to go and like do some stupid stuff. I feel like Devin needs to let off some steam.
All right. Well, you two go rebrand. I will handle this resonance. I'll let you know. how
But
it
you
goes.
should come and do silly stuff. You always do the sensible stuff.
Yes.
You need to be fun. Come on, Telly.
Okay, but you were sent a threatening letter by an exploding
It
bird.
wasn't a threatening letter.
An
It asked me to
exploding
come
bird
somewhere.
Makes it threatening. According to my list of threatening things,
No,
when the
no,
message
no, no.
explodes, that is threatening.
It
They
was
just
an invitation.
didn't need
I'm gonna
anything
casually sip my
anymore.
tea while these two have
They-
some angsty moments.
They just didn't need it. Have you never seen like that, I think it's called Jamie Pond, you know, that spy stuff. You know, like really famous spy book that they turned into a movie, Jamie Pond.
Jamie Pond. Yes, the message
Yeah.
always explodes.
0012, I think, or 0011. Was it? Yes, it 0011. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it always says this message will self-destruct in like, it's a secret. Oh, it's a secret. It just makes it more exotic. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, exploding stuff. Yeah, it's just.
I mean, doesn't that make it sound like it's more threatening?
No, not threatening, because normally it's like if you watch Jamie Pond, it's normally their agency that is sending them the message. So it's normal, like it's just someone's inviting us to something like extravagant. So probably a boat party. If you said it was it's probably a boat party, and it's just a bit. So that's definitely why Devon needs, a bit of a makeover, and we need to explore who they are, and we need to go and mess stuff up.
The thing is if it is threatening, then we shouldn't go to the location.
Exactly.
It is
We
an
shouldn't call
invitation,
it
not a
either.
demand. So
If you connect with it, they could send you a virus.
Yes, this has
virus.
happened.
Via get into your system. If you dial out directly, you could get ill, Tilly. Do you want to get ill or do you want to get sick? That's my question. And sick, I'm talking slang here, and that's kind of more British slang, and it's a bit old, but still, I'm being a bit retro by saying it. But when I say that way, the implication is like fun. I don't mean like actually ill.
Okay.
look, Val and Ren
understand.
decided to be their own team. They can go figure it out themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll send a message to Spectre saying, we're going to go do drugs? ?
No, we're not. No.
Where are you and what are they doing to you?
No. You keep it clean.
Also followed up by a meme of drugs.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. And then I'll say, but keep me posted. I'm worried, and I'll send you the other information that I have.
You turn around, I look like
Okay.
this now.
Oh. Send that to Paradigm. Enough just send to Paradigm. Guess it's just you and me.
I also put this makeup on Devon.
Yeah, I'm going to see how this...
super thick eyeliner.
Yeah. Huge eyelashes, but like they have the extreme
lipstick.
ones. And then I put a ridiculous hat on Tilly. Maybe even a wig. Yeah, maybe even a wig. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I put that on, and then put clothes on, like some random clothes on Tilly that just don't suit Tilly at all.
Perfect.
But we now look like an emo girl band.
Yes.
Perfect.
So we'll have a montage of the girls going out on the town, kind of causing scenes, kind of, it's a Mean Girls walking down the hallway kind of thing, only it's, down in the shopping district and
It's the craft.
yes,
They're
exactly.
gone.
Yeah, but we're gonna freak people out
Yeah.
and do things like because of my powers and stuff like that. I'll be like, just make those light flicker and stuff. Like, so people think we're witches. I'll be like, let's make people think we're witches.
Yes.
And obviously, in past, like Devin can take my
Mimic.
powers. Yeah, so we're gonna be like, so we can like make lights go out in places, and like do like sonic booms to make things like shake and stuff like. But not enough for people to tell where it's coming from.
Right. So
Do the
almost
thing where we kick over a trash can and then like pick it back up real quick.
Yeah.
so it's like, yes, I will also cause destruction. Then you kick it over and spend 5 seconds putting everything back up, sorting it all by its recycling code.
Yeah, we have a code. So she looks over and then we're like, not littering, Tilly.
Right.
Too extreme. Think about the planet.
Yeah, there's a flash mob dance routine with Resonance and Deadlock manipulating sound and light to create strobing and light effects, and then all of the speakers in all the cars around Central the Center Park start going off to create a little bit of house music as you all kind of, and then people join in, and maybe after folks get up close, they start to recognize that it's Lala.
No, they don't.
They don't?
This
Okay.
disguise is amazing.
Okay.
How dare you?
Okay, so no one recognizes.
Of Lala.
Yeah, so no one recognizes that it's Lala.
No one would see Lala in black makeup.
Okay.
This is my go-to disguise.
All right. So
I'm like Superman right now.
yes, you three go off and blow off some steam, kind of make a bit of a ruckus, and of course that through the obvious through the not obvious, but there's a little speculation. It's like, oh, these must be some new teen heroes, or maybe some teen vigilantes or anti-heroes or something like that. So there's a little bit of chatter on the socials about this trio making a scene in downtown. What are Spectre and Fade doing?
Meet up
Good
at the
question.
usual spot.
Coffee shop, let's go.
Yep. Meeting up at the coffee shop. That's
Okay.
And I have costume on underneath clothes.
Do you think they might bump into us in downtown?
Yes, we'll see.
Like the lights start flickering and we're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
All the roads are starting to be blocked with
Like,
car horns
if
going
we
off.
see them first, I'm messing up whatever coffee machine their person's making their coffee with.
Okay.
Got it.
We'll get to that in a second. For now, traffic is not great. But you make it to the coffee shop. We'll call it the Bitter End Coffee Shop.
Yeah, sounds appropriate.
Yep.
That's definitely Spectre's vibe.
So in preparations and everything, obviously she's gonna put on her Aegis costume.
Okay.
She's no longer wearing the pink and gold. It is dark blue and silver. Has an Aegis emblem on the back. Her hair is very much like Tufts' real hair, just blonde.
So my real hair.
It's pulled back, but there's definitely an undercut, and in the back there is a very, very small scar. Because that's how they stop her powers. She has zero access to her abilities, her old abilities. And she's not wearing a mask.
Yeah. And to be clear, the power suppressor that's been implanted, it's not exactly that it just saps away all your powers. It's that it channels and restricts them.
Yep.
So you do have, if I'm not mistaken, energy blasts, which is the kind of transformed version of your telekinesis. And I think you have supernatural senses.
Yes, enhanced senses.
Enhanced senses. So
because everything is the telepathy
has been
very much a tight leash.
Yeah, has been. So while you cannot read minds or communicate telepathically, that those neural pathways have been kind of channeled to enhance your senses.
Yep. So
You do know that it can at minimum shut down all of your powers.
Yes.
And there may be other things too.
If something goes wrong, it's basically the kill switch.
It's poof. Puff of feathers.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is hilarious because her name is Wren, which is a bird.
Yep. So, this is what you see, Spectre.
Like, a way to be discreet. And I think I've just printed out some of the information that I found, primarily like a map of where it's coming from, which is really just a swath of blue with a dot in the middle. And I'm like, okay.
So, hi, I'm Fade. We'll put that there first. You know, I'm still me, kinda. We're supposed to go there. That's what I've been told. We are supposed to go there. As there's only two of us, we're going to have to convince them somehow to go. They want us in undercover.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's gonna go great. The two of us, the people that they probably don't like the most right now, trying to convince them that we all need to go in the middle of the ocean to track down a spooky message. That's gonna go great.
That's why we're gonna blame Aegis.
So, like, what are you gonna do? Like, have people grab them off the street in trucks and ship them off into the Atlantic? Like, what is the plan? How are you gonna blame Aegis? How is that gonna make them do anything?
I don't know. I'm winging it. I don't have all of the answers. I don't even know how to really use my powers that well.
I mean, did you before though?
Yeah, a little bit. No, it's completely different because I don't hear the thought. I can't just lift something up and throw things. If I lift my arm the wrong way and do a specific thing with my hand, it shoots lasers.
Okay, so now you have laser hands, which is
kind of it's
better. Okay, look, we're not here to talk about your powers. Spooky message.
It's not about
coming from the middle of the ocean, which is also I don't like the ocean. And I don't want to be in the middle of it.
I'm not exactly a fan of it either. There's sharks and things that are bigger than me that can eat me, and I'm not cool with that. I don't want you to get eaten by a shark.
You can punch sharks. That's easy enough. You just pop them on the nose and you're fine. But you can't really punch water. It doesn't care. So that's a problem. And the other problem is that we can't. We can maybe get Tilly to go, but maybe not. But Resonance and Devin, that's a whole nother story. Because I don't know about you, but I haven't exactly gotten a chance to apologize or even try to make amends. Because I kind of messed up a lot. So need a plan for that. And I don't want to have to keep using Tilly as our in-between communicator.
Speaking of which, the lights begin to flicker.
Why not ask
all of
Tilly where she's at?
Well, all of the espresso machines begin to hiss and burble. You look around first at the counter, and as all the baristas are kind of freaking out and running back to flip off the breakers, and yet the lights continue to flicker. And then kind of as one, you turn from looking to the bar to looking out the window, And there you see 3, at first, unfamiliar forms. Looking very metal. Except for one of them, who's
It's literally metal.
yeah, who
Yeah,
is metal.
who looks metal in a different
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I think the one they would recognize first would be Tilly, because they'd
Yeah.
be like,
Oh yeah.
she
I'm like,
looks a bit odd. Wait, that's Tilly in clothes and a wig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some like badly drawn on makeup. Like I used a Sharpie
Yeah.
or
Yes, and
something.
I appreciate the fact that I could make a holograph projection over myself to look cool, but decided not to and just
Right.
went with the disguise.
Yes. And I
Yeah,
think you
at
can
first-
probably tell from the looks on residents and well, who you think is probably impasse, because I don't think that you know the name change yet. That they are collectively using some of residents' powers. To be clear, it's not destructive. Like nothing's catching on
Yeah.
fire.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just kind of quietly stand up and walk outside.
Yes. So there's a little bit of those 3 on one side of the street, you 2 on this side of the street. Suddenly,
and to
Go ahead.
to put this into a little bit of perspective, there was no coffee ordered. They just met there.
Yeah. And for some reason, the street suddenly empties. A tumbleweed rolls down the middle of the road. There's a faint kind of whistling soundtrack as these 2 groups square off. What happens?
Hi.
Hey!
Hi, Tilly. Good to see you.
It's gonna kind of like stand back at ease and just kind of wave. Hi guys.
Hey.
And of course, y'all get to see, the new get up and everything. So,
I mean, I think right now the only person who looks like themselves is Spectre. So,
Yeah, in normal clothes.
like the rest of it, like
Yeah.
you look different, and then we look like an emo band.
Yeah, what's with the looks?
Don't worry about it.
We're
Right.
we're
We were
causing
just having
trouble.
some fun.
We're going to do drugs.
No, we're not.
Why are
Tilly.
you doing drugs? Tilly,
Well-
you can't even do drugs.
No, we're not.
Yes.
No.
Maybe true, but I looked up a list of teenage rebellion activities, and doing drugs is near the top of the list. There are several options to choose from.
Yeah.
Many are illegal.
There are
Yes.
way better options. Like,
That is true, Tilly, but we're not doing that.
Oh, should I cross it off the list then?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't drink caffeine. You remember that? I don't drink caffeine. I'm not gonna pollute my body with something else.
Yes.
So what are you guys
I mean, you guys
doing here?
got the letter too, right? We were just talking about it and trying to figure out what we were gonna do and kind of trying to figure out how we were gonna talk to you guys and
Yep.
apologize
Mm.
for,
How did that go?
I mean, honestly, it went faster than expected because I didn't think we were going to get to talk to you guys immediately. So this was good timing, I guess. And we're just, I'm sorry about.
Ren's gonna fire off a message to Quentin. Just go, how to teen? Help!
Just texting in the middle of our conversation.
Right. Just
Yeah.
like totally disengaged.
looks at Fade after they just had the conversation about Paradigm not supporting Spectre when she needed her, and she's texting while Spectre's trying to apologize. It's like, really? Really?
Spectre, why don't you just ask your parents for help?
Look, I'm sorry that I didn't tell you, and quite frankly, he's never said anything to me. So, not exactly a wonderful relationship, and you know all about my issues with my mom. So, you know, I messed things up, and I'm sorry, and I can't go back and change what I did and didn't tell you guys. But I mean, you guys have been more of a family to me than anybody else, and I know I didn't treat you the same. But I mean, I would like us to still be a team. I would like us to still be friends, and I get if we can't, and that's fine. But I don't know.
I mean, the thing is that, like, friendship is like a house, and trust is the foundation. And if you don't have a strong foundation, it all just comes crumbling down.
Yeah, kind of like our
I
base.
think some sensei said that. What did you say? Did you bring me? Did you say? Did you? I thought you said like her face. I was like,
No.
what?
And,
Our foundation is
base.
cracked like your
Oh.
face. Wow.
That's what I thought you said, and I was like, wow. Now,
Now it really is going to be a battle in the heart of Metropolis.
but
The
true.
base thing, that was me.
Yeah,
Only someone had warned you about the dangers of dating within a superhero team.
And you did.
Jenny, that's good sarcasm. I don't know if
You-
you've got
you-
that in.
you-
If you've got that in your database.
You did, and you know, now I'm facing the consequences of my actions. You know, I have to rebuild. I have to make amends, and it's extremely hard to do.
By working for Aegis.
It was either this or prison.
And how
for
is
superheroes?
how have you tried to make amends when like you haven't reached out to us until now?
had it-
When you want something?
Literally have not had a chance. Not had a chance. They've only just given me a phone. It is heavily monitored. I don't even have any of year 3's phone numbers. The only reason that I have Val's is because I had it memorized. And I found a letter in my linear algebra book of all things, which is ironic because it's an alphanumeric code. I gave it to my foster parents because I knew this was something that we were going to need Aegis's help with. And that's a whole other thing. I'm really sorry, you guys. I'm sorry I messed up the base. I'm sorry I ruined the field trip. I'm sorry I had an egg salad sandwich for lunch.
hey, again, you're getting defensive about it. Like, it was a joke. It wasn't because they actually hated you for having an egg salad sandwich. It was the way you reacted to them poking fun at you having an egg salad sandwich.
I know. I know.
Your phrasing is terrible. We need to work on this.
Yes.
Never apologize for eating the food you like.
Unless you're unless you're in a staff room, and then if you bring fish or egg, that's it. Like, you're dead to the rest of the staff. Just as, again, Tilly, just as a note. Tuna salad, dead. Egg salad, dead to us. That's how
But
it works.
only in a work
Communal-
break room.
Yeah, in a work break room. You can eat what you want in your own home. People don't like the
There.
smell, they can leave.
Small enclosed spaces where everyone else has to be.
Yeah. Or on a train. Oh, that's bad.
Train. Yes. Okay.
Would you like that to add to your lessons? Tilly? You don't have to.
I don't think there's a very good one for that yet.
Okay.
But kind of going off what Spectre said, you started that conversation by saying, and what I questioned you on was you said you wanted to make amends with us. And then I said you only wanted to make amends with us when you wanted something from us. And then you went off on some random tangent about Aegis and where you found this note and stuff. That was not an explanation about you making amends with us.
Technically, Faye did say that they were unable to contact us until today.
Yep. This is literally. I haven't had access to anything. I've been in training. But I need your help.
Remember when I wanted us to train? Every time you would be sitting off on the sidelines, not training.
You know how hard it is to fight somebody whose powers are literally the same as yours?
I think that's kind of the point.
That's literally my whole thing.
It's difficult to get your ass beat by your own powers. Twice.
Well, if you trained more, then maybe you wouldn't.
Right.
And that is something that I am going to need help with. I have to learn how to work these new powers. And I'm hoping that if we are able to make amends and sort of start fresh, that you, Devin, would be willing to help me learn, to become better at what I'm trying to do. Minus the whole head exploding thing. I really don't want you to learn that.
You shouldn't have told her about that, like right now.
I mean, it's there, and I'm trying to be open and honest about literally everything.
No,
You know, I can't go into anyone's mind anymore. I can't implant thoughts. I have to speak and be honest. I have to.
Not you want to, you have to. You see the issue there?
And that you can't go into people's minds.
Not that you
I don't
won't.
want to go into anybody's minds. I saw what damage it caused. I leveled a base because of it. So I would like to start fresh. And if we're gonna, get down to semantics on my shitty wording, then.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. You're still the
Literally
victim. My bad. My bad. I forgot.
See how much it sucks to have everybody jump down your throat, Ren, like you did all the time to everybody else?
Yep.
Yeah. Look, just things sucked. We sucked. We didn't treat you guys right. And I'm sorry about that. I have never experienced this before. My entire existence has been very narrow and controlled in a way that probably wasn't super different for you, Devin. Just the opposite side of the spectrum. So you guys were my first venture out into actually being my own person, and I royally messed it up. But I do feel terrible for not telling you guys sooner, but honestly, I was afraid that this is exactly what was going to happen. As soon as I said anything, that the team was going to fall apart and everybody was going to turn on each other, and this would be the exact scenario that happened. And I know I only made it worse because I waited for so long to tell anybody, but I had to be sure that what I was telling was the truth, and when I first found out, I had no idea. After the whole fear circus thing, I was pretty positive, but it's not exactly an easy thing to say to somebody.
Here's my two issues with you two. Is you making assumptions about how other people are going to feel and how other people are going to react. With you, Spectre, you assumed that we would think something bad of you because of your secrets and your situations. I would never be mad at you for who your father is or who your partner is or anything like that. That's your choice. And I believe strongly you can't help who you fall in love with. So if that's your story, then that's your story. What hurt is that you kept it from us. You call us your family and then you lie to us, and you can lie by admission. And so for me, it wasn't what it was about. I don't care what it's about. It's the fact that you didn't trust us enough to tell us your truth. So that was my issue with you. And my issue with you, Ren, was that you always acted like you hated the drama. You said, I was drama, I was extra, all these things all the time. But yet
When in reality,
you caused the drama.
Yes.
Yeah. You made the drama. You made everything more than what it needed to be. And so you judged people for being dramatic or being extra, but then you always took a situation and took it to 10 instead of it just being what it was. You know, no one was ever attacking you. And that's the thing, is for me to move forward with either one of you, I can't, like, I have so much rubbish and drama in my own life that is fake and falsified. I need people to be real around me.
That is,
you know,
I don't want to keep secrets from anybody. It's why I told Marie and Martin about this thing instead of just rushing off to find you guys and be like, hey guys, look what I found. You know, I know I have messed up and I want to fix things. I want to fix things. And she's going to like dead look at Devin and be like, I want to fix things. I want the foundation to be rebuilt. I want us to be a team again, not because Aegis says I have to. I do what they say to avoid being locked up, losing more freedoms. But what I want and what I need are people who are willing to help me adjust to being in this timeline. And you four are the ones who know me the best. You know that I can take something that's literally a 2 and make it a 10. And just call me out on my shit. Like, don't.
But we did, and you
attacked
us.
I know. And I'm still growing and I'm still learning. I've made mistakes. I am sorry.
Fade, your phone has been blowing up this entire time.
I'm not looking at my phone. I'm focusing on my friends. Now
Yes.
that there's a break, I'll peek and see who it's from at the very least.
It's from your handler.
Oh, good. Why?
The
Is
last,
it ringing or is it text messages?
it's text.
Okay.
You glance down at it, and the last couple of messages are, you have 3 minutes. I hope you're getting ready. Be prepared to fight. Make it look good.
Great.
As you read those words, a strong wind blows down the center of the street. It is icy cold. There
Guys,
are
be ready to fight.
there are
Just
flecks
trust me on this. Be ready to fight now.
flecks of snow scattering in the breeze. Descending from the heavens is a woman that you all recognize, especially residents. This is Lady December,
Yay!
and she descends on a jet of icy cold air. You see behind her, hopping from building to building, and then coming down to rest on the ground right behind her, a superhero in a green mech suit. This is Mr. Mantis. Also a very, very famous kind of A-list hero. And then kind of popping into reality next to her on the other side, forming a triad, is the Green Guardian, one of the most established extraterrestrial heroes that make their home here in Halcyon City.
Excuse me while I just stand there starstruck for a second.
Right. And it's at this point that you hear the helicopter above. It is the news station. Specifically, and I will tell you which station it is. KHYP 13. So one of the local Hyperion, one of the local cities news stations, and you can see a big telephoto lens out. And Lady December looks at you all and says in a very loud voice, as if projecting to the audience microphones, "We have found you at last, Vice Girls. Surrender now or be prepared to fight."
Look around like,
I'm like, I
Yeah,
have like this.
who? Where?
So you are entering battle against a dangerous foe as a team.
Oh no.
Forcibly against their will.
Yes. Who is the leader?
nope, not me.
Exactly.
I gave up the captain too.
Yeah. Does everyone have the same purpose?
No, no, I don't think we
I
know
don't
what
know
we're
what
doing.
I'm doing.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm rebelling against authority, which is high on the list of teenage rebellious.
Sure. Does any team member mistrust the leader or the team?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, we got so many
Is
negatives.
the team ill-prepared or off balance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so you had...
100%.
Well, the good news is you always have a team at the start of a session. And Tilly, I believe, added a team, or someone did.
Resonance.
I did.
Residents
Yeah,
added a
Residents did.
team. You gain 2
Thanks,
when
Meg.
you gain 2 when you enter into battle. But you lost 2 because of the mistrust and ill preparation. So you do have 2 team.
Yay.
So
Thunder. No.
Look here, you little turd. I will end you.
Is that your kid?
It is my kid.
okay.
Oh my goodness.
Just looks
How
at Lady
dare you.
December and says that.
so which is what you say in character. They are waiting for you all to make the first move, but they're only
Okay.
waiting a moment. What do you do?
I'm going in
I'm
because
Don't you have
Don't ask
something
us.
better to do? Who the hell is the Vice Girls?
we're the
Don't-
Vice Girls.
Yeah,
Really?
don't play
We're
innocent with
literally
me.
just kids.
Girl band.
They're A-list heroes.
I make a hard light anvil. to
We're
drop
not
the bomb.
even a group right now.
Literally.
While all of this is going on, I'm literally, tapping buttons on my newly found device on my wrist, and it's going to actually summon the proper costume, which is going to be similar but not the same. There will be a mask that forms on Fade's face. She's gonna be armored, as it were, and then her wrists are going to show 2 energy blast weapon bracelet things, and she's just gonna be ready,
Yes.
superhero pose, because
Why
her
are we
handler said
posturing
make it
right
look
now?
good.
You
You do
summon
not want to fight these
you
people.
summon the suit. It doesn't look like you expected. It is not the silver and blue of Aegis.
Mhm.
It is red and purple. Kind of garish.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. Okay.
I say, hold on a
I
second.
didn't know we
Maybe
could-
this will help the confusion. And I get out a bunch of makeup wipes and I throw them at Tilly and Impasse. And then I remove my makeup, like those rubbish makeup.
As you
adverts.
as you start to, Lady December will come up and like grab your hand.
No,
and-
not my makeup wipe.
But before you're able to work it, and she just kind of like angles herself so that her back is to the helicopter, and just kind of gives you a look and says,
And I'm like, oh, is it a show?
"Make it good."
No one told me about this.
And then she will blast you with a winter blast. Roll to take a powerful blow.
Oh no, I'm so cold. I got 10.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's roll plus conditions. That's a 10.
Well, do I add anything else? Just the conditions?
Just conditions.
Yeah, so I rolled a 6 and a 4.
You really wanted to get a rise out of the rest of us, huh?
Yeah. Would you
'Cause I'm going for her.
would you like to keep it, or would you like to re-roll it?
It's fine. I'll take the powerful blow. Like she's just told me it's for show,
Yeah.
and obviously I'm used to things being fake. And this is also Lady December, so story-wise for my character, I feel that I'd be like, oh well, I'll just take it.
Yeah. Well, you do. You are blasted up and into the side of a building. You can hear the steel and glass behind you crack, and then the icy blast solidifies around you, and you are now pasted to the 3rd floor of a nearby building. It was powerful. And if this is what she can do when she's pulling a
either
punch,
remove myself from the situation, flee, pass out, you lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way.
yeah, you can pass out or you can lose control.
So I have to do one of
Because
those.
you can't flee because you're currently. Yeah.
Or you can take 2 of the other
Yeah.
7 to 9 options.
Yeah.
At that same time, I'm going to, press the communications button and tell Aegis that I need them to make sure to clear out any and all civilians of
There are
this
no
area.
civilians on the
I was
street.
like, they.
God.
As we established,
Weirdly, we were having that whole conversation in the middle of the street, and,
And no one was
came
around.
by. There was no
Yeah.
traffic.
shocking.
Bizarre.
So yes, you can certainly, if you would rather, resonance, choose 2, like lash out verbally to provoke a teammate, give ground, or struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions. But you have to choose 2 of those.
Let me look at what the conditions are again. I like to pick what makes sense story-wise.
Yeah.
I think for me what makes sense story-wise is either I pass out, I lose control, because that was huge,
Yeah.
or I do the Mark II conditions and something else.
Your choice.
I think maybe I'll mark 2 conditions and something else. I'll pick afraid and hopeless or insecure, because that was really scary. Insecure, maybe, because I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I will give ground, because I'm pinned to the wall, so I'm kind of giving ground anyway.
Yep. So you start, I'm not sure what's going on. And that was literally her pulling the punch. So what else are people doing?
Oh, as soon as I see her like get blasted behind me, I'm like, what the hell? And I'm gonna blast her using Resonance's powers.
All right. Go to, this is in directly engaging a threat.
Ooh, okay. Well, because my danger is +1.
Lovely. All right. Pick 2.
I ain't holding back no more. Impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Yep.
Because they might not be expecting me to do that. And then resist and avoid blows from, whoever else is there.
Yes. So you begin to unleash. Are you using electric or sonic?
Oh my god, I just saw Richie. Let's say Sonic, and
Okay.
I just in the form of like, get the hell away from us, and just kind of
Yes.
blast it.
And the cars and things, and even like the lamp posts, just all kind of like the cars scoot back and lamp posts bend over. The Gamma Guardian and Mr. Mantis, who are on the ground, kind of dig in, or Gamma Guardian probably just goes insubstantial, so it passes right through him, and Mr. Mantis digs his claws into the asphalt, and then you can see his mech armor like add another shield, another layer to resist the blow. But since Lady December was floating in the air, she's actually tossed back a couple of blocks. It's a very, very powerful attack. And you can see Mr. Mantis and the Gamma Guardian look at each other like a little,
Ready to fight.
Yep. So
what is the Gamma Guardian's powers?
He has flight, he has density control, and he has energy blasts.
Okay.
And Mr. Mantis has supernatural mobility and enhanced strength and durability.
But through the suit.
Through the suit.
Okay. That's harder for me.
Yep.
I think we established I have a hard time with mechanical powers.
Yeah. I mean, he has superhuman reflexes and things like that you could probably bar, because he himself is mutated, but a lot of his powers come from the suit.
We could say, like, when I'm on the second half of that, like, resist, avoid blows, maybe I'd borrow a little bit of that.
Yeah. Mr. Mantis probably throws a couple of little robotic robotic clamps at you that are meant to, like, one of them is like heading straight for your face to clamp around your mouth and deaden your control of the sonic ability, but then you instinctively steal the Gamma Guardian's powers and go insubstantial, and it smacks into the wall behind it and digs in.
And just glare at him.
Yeah. What is everyone else doing?
Oh my gosh, they hit E-Girl. I'll get you, and I'm gonna send a blast of, it's hard light, but I'm gonna make it look like fire because that seems cool.
Yeah, sure.
I guess at who's ever nearest. Probably not the guy who turns insubstantial. That's unhelpful.
So hitting Mr. Mantis.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a 7.
Okay. Well, 7 works.
Yeah.
So pick what you want to happen. You want to resist or avoid blows, impress, surprise, or frighten.
Resist or avoid blows. That seems reasonable to do while I'm engaging, like making cool fake looking fire to melt the ice, except it's light, so
yeah, you go to blast him. He, now that the sonic wave has passed, he does some impossible acrobatics to dodge around, but you do catch him a couple of times, and he kind of spins around, and then with his back towards you, the ports in the suit open up, and a bunch of drones, Mantis drones, pop out, and so you're quickly go from pounding him with your fire to having to deflect these drones. How about Spectre and Fade?
Fade is going to use her energy blast to attempt to get resonance down. She's gonna blast around in small bursts to break the ice and not hit resonance.
All right, then that's an unleash your powers.
Hopefully this isn't a situation where like you jumped out of the building with her. That couldn't fly.
Oh, you landed on an angle. How dare. 2. I got a 4
Just a little
plus
help,
freak. So a 3.
7.
No, it was a 4 total, and then I have a -1 to freak.
Oh.
So it's 3.
Do you want to keep that?
No. Let's see. Unleash your powers. Roll on freak. Hit. You do it. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely gonna use a
Major.
Yeah, major.
To reroll both the d6s.
Absolutely.
All right. Hope it goes well.
Hold on, give me a good number. An 8.
All right. So, go ahead and mark a condition of your choice.
Okay.
Which one makes sense?
Insecure because she's not confident in her powers.
Yes. Yes. But it does work in that you just rapid fire off these bolts of force energy that don't hit resonance, but that do shatter the ice that's holding resonance in place. It's imperfect, however, because the ice was the only thing that was holding resonance in place. So the ice shatters and then and no injury, but it's a little awkward as resonance falls to the street in a shower of ice shards, knocking the wind out of yourself. But you are now free, resonance.
Muted. What?
I just said, I'm okay.
I'm sorry.
Through chattering teeth.
But we needed you down from that. I'm sorry.
It's
Spectre.
pretty cold.
Got costume on now.
You look like you were chilling.
Who's the one that can turn insubstantial? The Green Guardian?
Yeah, the Gamma Guardian.
Okay. So my thought is I'm gonna run over to him and use my powers to force him to stay substantial, like regenerate him faster than he can turn insubstantial. And then yell at the team and be like, somebody hit him!
All right, that's an unleash your powers.
Oh boy. That is a 9.
Ah, well, on a 9, mark a condition.
I think I'm insecure again because of the conversation from earlier.
You do. You run up and you put your hands on him, and at first they start to pull through, but then you channel your reconstitutive abilities and kind of warp them and morph them. So this is a real strain on you because this is not how these are meant to work. But you do begin to see as he starts to go insubstantial, it flickers a little bit and he seems concerned and worried. And that will create an opportunity. Who is going to take advantage of the opportunity?
I'm gonna punch an alien. That seems fun.
Cool.
Alien on
Alien
alien
on alien
violence.
violence.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can see it.
I'm gonna use a major boon.
Okay.
No reason, no particular reasons. All right, that's better. So that will be a 9 then.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I think I'll do, like, hold on, I'll look at the moves. Let's see what it'll do.
This is directly engaging a threat. So on a 9, you picked 1.
Yeah.
say
I'll
I
resist or
team.
avoid their blows again. I don't
Okay.
actually want to get hurt much in this fight.
Yep.
Can
yeah.
I say that I'm using a team to assist by holding him there so that
Yes.
we make it a 10?
Oh,
Yes. 100%.
perfect. Then I don't know what a good another one. It'd be either impress, surprise, or fight in the opposition, I guess. Because maybe he wasn't expecting to be held like this, and then turns and looks, and suddenly there's me flying at him, using some hard light power to push off the ground and just,
Yep.
straight punch to the face.
100%. Cool. And
Yeah,
he
my other hand is keeping my hat on
Right.
for my cool disguise.
as you fly forward, he reaches out his hand as if to reach into your robot body and do who knows what. But you rapidly shape an appropriately calibrated hard light shell around yourself, and his hand that is now kind of phasing in and out kind of just bounces back. And then, boom, you lift him up off of his feet. And it's kind of gross because he's a lot more like he's humanoid bipedal. He doesn't have like human anatomy, so he's a lot stretchier than he should be. So as you make contact with his head, it kind of like goes sideways and stretches further than it should, and then kind of pops back and wobbles. And he is momentarily knocked off his feet. And then as soon as it breaks contact with Spectre, he goes full insubstantial and falls down through the street.
And I'm going for Mantis Boy.
Or
I'm
So,
going for Bug Boy.
well, you would. So
Aw.
as you start to run towards Mr. Mantis, Lady December flies up, hair held aloft in a cyclone of cold air, and begins firing off ice bolts at you. So Deadlock, go ahead and resist a powerful blow for me. Or take a powerful blow.
I gotta reroll that because they completely went on the sides.
What'd you get
Much
there?
better. Okay. I had to use major burn. Now it's a 3. It was a
Oh,
it was a 10.
yes.
I
So
always had to switch to the mask die.
excellent. So we'll say that you, knowing that, and you're going for Mr. Mantis, he's probably the closest person to you. So as you see these bolts coming towards you, and you can tell she's more trying to put like a cage around you than she's trying to actually hit you, which maybe makes it a little bit easier to dodge than you would think. But you reach out and pull some of Mr. Mantis's superhuman agility, and then begin like dodging around and like leaping up into the air and like standing on the bolts of ice as they fly to get out of the way. So very well done.
Now can I get him?
No. Fade. You feel something grab your ankles. You look down. It's long green alien fingers.
Oh, he's gonna get blasted.
And you can see your legs start to become transparent as he begins pulling you down into the street. Please roll to take a powerful blow. Roll plus conditions.
Sodi redeeming a boon.
Yeah.
You can't do
Oh no,
That's fine.
no, no! No, it's not me. My daughter is watching
Oh,
on
got
my
it.
phone. She's doing
That's
It'll
that's
count
allowed.
as her major
That's allowed.
boon then.
That's allowed.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
She's trying to save her mama. It's fine.
Yeah.
What, baby? Stop.
May I ask
Apparently,
a
it was my son
question?
doing it for her.
I
Yes.
forgot. You know, like if we fail
Yes.
a roll and but we use like a minor or a major boon, do we still mark
Yeah.
potential?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
I will be
Why
at
not?
5 again.
Perfect.
Like because earlier when I used my minor boon, I'm already 4 out of 5, so I'd
Yeah.
be 5 out of 5 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Team and stuff. No, but spending the boons and things is enough of a cost because you technically failed, but then the deities of chat have intervened.
Okay.
Cool.
So that's 5 out of 5.
So what'd you get there? Fade.
I got a 12 minus 2, so 10.
There's no minuses. This is plus conditions.
Oh, plus conditions, then it's a 14.
Oh no.
All right. Well, you can't, because of your unique situation, you cannot lose control of your powers in a terrible way.
Yep.
So you can basically get yourself locked into the street, effectively removing yourself from the situation, or you can choose 2 from the 7 to 9 list. Lashing out verbally, giving ground, struggling past the pain, and marking 2 more conditions. Recommend not marking all those conditions because bad things will happen to you if you hit them all.
Yeah. I don't need to recreate a new character. I just made this one
Right.
again.
If it helps you as you're being pulled down, the Gamma Guardian is sliding out, and he will lean over to you and whisper in a strange accent, "Go down."
Hey,
Don't fight it.
I know I need to work on how things are phrased, but you really need to work on how things
He's an
are phrased.
alien.
So I guess she's going to remove myself from the situation
Okay.
by going into the ground.
Yes. So he will pull you.
I see the benefit of this coming up.
So he will pull you down to the point where it's like mid-thigh and your arms are also locked underneath the street, and then he will fly out and resubstantiate.
Okay.
So you're now stuck there. I mean, you can talk and struggle, but you're effectively out of the combat.
Yep.
All right. Who's next?
Want to punch him.
Which one are you trying to punch, Edlock?
I want to go for Bug Boy now.
Mr. Mantis? All right.
Yeah, like if I use the ice maybe to get to him, like
Yeah. And by the way, this is the original Mr. Mantis. There's a teen superhero who has picked up the Mr. Mantis mantle, but you can tell
Mr.
by
Mini Mantis.
right, but you can tell by the costume that this is the OG Mr. Mantis, who interestingly enough hasn't been active a while. He's technically retired. And the Gamma Guardian hasn't been seen a lot recently. Of course, Lady December, she has all that merch, that line of merch that she has to manage. So go ahead. It looks like you are directly engaging a threat.
not even kidding. That's,
Aha, beautiful.
so that's a 13.
All right, pick 2.
So I'll do again impress, surprise, frighten.
Yep.
And instead I'll do like take something from them because we'll say I'm just like honed in. I'm not focused on dodging anymore. Does he say anything to me? Like as I get close?
Nope.
Did I see that they were basically telling us like this is a fake fight?
Assess the situation.
10 plus whatever my superior is. 12.
Yes. You don't have to
Okay.
ask questions, but yeah, it's 100% a show.
In that case, I grab onto him once I get to him and just unleash a bunch of resonances, electricity to try to fry his suit. And
Yep.
and just like I'm sick and tired of adults telling me what to do without telling me why. And just like unleash a bunch of electricity. So then take something from him. I want to like mess with the functionality of his
Yeah.
suit.
Yeah, for sure.
And then impress, surprise, or frighten. Like, I'm not playing.
Yeah, it puts his super suit into like a reboot mode. So as soon as you do that, like the full weight of the suit, because all the hydraulics and stuff turn off, and so he kind of just like hits the ground and is like struggling to get up. But this thing probably weighs 1,000 pounds because it's like super dense metamaterial and all that kind of stuff. So he is, at least for the moment, pinned to the ground on his back like a beetle. Resonance, you are free. You have dusted yourself off, little shards of ice hanging from your hair. What do you do?
I would like to use my sonic control
Yes.
to pierce the mask of Miss December and send her like a very narrow message that goes
Yes.
straight to her. That's like, why are you doing this?
All right, unleash your
Basically.
powers.
Unleash my powers. Okay.
If you fail, we all get to hear.
I rolled an 11.
Beautiful.
What's my freak? What's my freak? My freak is 1, so it's a 12.
Beautiful. Yes. So you create a two-way channel of amplification so that you can basically whisper to her, or even sub-vocalize so the cameras can't read your lips. And you ask her what's happening. She's like, we'll brief you later, but we need to establish your credentials. Suggest you've put on a surprisingly good show. Suggest you succumb to our superior experience before we do more damage to downtown. And then she'll give you a wink. And and again turns so the camera can't catch her, but she gives you a wink and like a genuine smile. And by the way, this is, remember, Lady December, who you idolize.
Yeah, I do idolize her. That's why I don't like what she's doing, because this doesn't feel
But
right.
the tone of voice that she's using is kind of
Is
conspiratorial.
friendly.
It's friendly and conspiratorial. So like she's like, you're doing a good job, but we don't want to create any more collateral damage than we need to.
Okay.
So how about come at me, and then I'll surround you in a ice cage or something.
I'm not very trusting right now. Okay.
Now, adults do have influence over you, like all
True.
of them.
Yeah,
Your mom.
yeah.
She's
Would
not.
you-
Well,
I'm not going to make you roll to resist influence,
Mhm.
because this is she's speaking to you more like she would speak to a peer. She's not using mom voice yet.
Okay, so I run towards her and like take a super leap jump because, you know, I'm putting on a show.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. And then
Say what happened.
yeah, and then she swirls her hands around as these two big gusts of like blizzard come towards you and then slam shut, one on the top, one on the bottom. And all this snow rapidly crystallizes into an ice cage. And you're held aloft in the air by the blast of wind and then relatively gently lowered down. You could get out, but you know it looks like you are encased in an ice jail.
Okay.
2 down, 3 to go.
Ooh. Seeing that, I'm going to try to attack Lady December. Like, jump off of some of the debris and just go at her in the air.
Let me give you an assist with, like cool platforms and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
Cool.
All right. Tilly, unleash your powers. Spectre, directly engage a threat.
Okay.
And then depending upon Tilly's result.
I got a 7.
Okay. So the pillars are a little bit wobbly, but that's a good enough for a +1. What'd you get there, Spectre?
It's not good.
You want to keep it?
No, I would like to use
All right.
nature boon.
Use them all up on the fake fight, please.
Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah,
not?
for sure.
Oh,
We love it.
yeah, I think it's real. Oh, cool. That's 10 plus 1 is 11.
All right. So choose your 2.
I would like to impress, surprise, or frighten, and I think I would also like to take something from them and basically just pin her to the ground. So take her down with me.
Okay. Yeah. You're running on the floating platforms, and like one of them kind of slips a little bit. And it's a little bit wobbly, and then Tilly, just as opposed to creating more platform, just moves that one forward, giving you an extra push, and then you just leap and there's flying tackle Lady December, and you whirl around on the ground, kicking up a spray of snow that glitters in the sun. And she kind of goes, "Oof, I said make it good. It didn't have to be that good."
You just put my friend in an ice cage and tried to like spear the other one.
Binge E-girl!
she's-
Get her!
She's fine. This is just a show.
Wait, what?
This is just a show. You think you have me at a disadvantage, e-girl. I guess
They're all E-girl. It's a naming scheme.
they'll overdub it once we play it on the news. But you haven't felt the full power of winter's might. Are you gonna just stand there? Don't.
Okay.
And then she rises up into the air, and then this huge column of freezing sleet and ice rains around you, and you are now in an ice cube. All right. What is everyone else doing? That's 3 down.
Yeah. Like Zedlock is just like in a fit and just like clawing away at this dude's mech suit.
He's like,
Just
this thing is an antique. I had to get it out of the museum. Don't wreck it.
stop telling you what to do.
Just pounding away at the armor. Seriously, you've done what you're supposed to do. Calm down.
What I'm supposed to do?
All right.
Triggered.
All right. Well, then roll to take a powerful blow.
Okay. All right, so that's a 7.
Major. Ooh. Minor bane.
So 6.
Yeah.
So wait, it would have been anyway because I still have a condition. I forgot to add insecure.
Oh, okay.
So
that's an 8.
no, I mean
Well, because
plus
it's resisting a
condition.
powerful blow, it adds as opposed to subtracting.
right.
The bane does.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So your natural roll was an 8, right?
Yes.
All right, then I will spend 2 minor banes to kick that up to a 10.
Okay.
As he can't quite stand up, but he reaches out as you're pummeling him and grabs a hold of your hands, and then he pulls his arms out, but the 2 gauntlets clamp down, and then the 2 wrist pieces join and form a set of handcuffs. And then there was one, Tilly.
Oh no, we've been bested. I surrender.
You always were the smart one,
Oh, thank you.
e-girl number 3. And she kind of looks,
Yes, that is my name.
and Lady December will fly above you all. Never fear, people of Halcyon City. The threat of the Vice Girls has been squashed or something. And she like looks down at her phone and like she's consulting a script, or she wants to call line, but she can't. She's like, yes, we will take these miscreants to prison where they will learn to rue the day that they stood up against the great heroes of Halcyon City. I'm sure you will never see them again, for their evil has been vanquished. And then she floats back down, and she's flanked by the Gamma Guardian and Mr. Mantis, who, strike super heroic poses. You can catch the flashing and the sound of shutters that are coming from like windows in the buildings around. Like people were prepared to take a bunch of photos, and you can see a long telephoto lens sticking out of the helicopter. And then, as if on cue, Aegis paddy wagons will arrive, and you will all be actually relatively gently freed from your icy or mechanical prisons and loaded into the back of the wagon. You are whipped through town to somewhere. It isn't Aegis headquarters.
I don't consent to this.
Tilly's busy checking off rebel against authority on her
Yep.
rebellion checklist.
And eventually, of course, there's no windows. Eventually, you come to a stop. And the back doors of the paddy wagon open. And there's Lady December, only she's in a nice kind of like, a nice beige sweater set. She's got some khakis on, some flats. She looks, kind of like a regular person, except for her kind of like silvery blue mane of wavy hair. That does cast like little sparkles of ice flakes. Wow, you girls did great. I mean, if that whole thing wasn't fake, we would have really had to try.
Thank you. It was very fun.
Yeah,
Thanks.
don't worry. We got all the footage that we needed.
What?
Has Fade read you in on your mission?
No.
I was trying to. They don't trust anything I say.
Well, actually, that kind of makes sense when I think about it.
Yeah.
Well, Aegis needs you, ladies.
I don't work for Aegis.
Well, but you do work against the forces of evil, right?
Sounds very manipulative of you.
Sure. Anyway, someone bring her.
Because Impasse is probably the easiest to work with before the whole Impact situation happened.
How about we get you a hot chocolate, honey? All right, so, yes. Well, your little kerfluffle attracted quite a lot of attention on the dark web. And we heard some rumblings that maybe Venom might be interested in recruiting you all. Once we found out that they had indeed sent you a secret communication, we thought, oh, well, let's make it look good. Let's give you some background that would make it more likely. A cover story, if you will. Good girls gone bad. That's why I stopped you from taking off your makeup there, Lala. I didn't want anyone to associate e-girl number 2 or whatever your name is going to be with the actual residence, because we need to maintain her other secret identity. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you guys should be in a really good position now to infiltrate Venom. You'll be doing a great service to your country and to the community of Earth. We can gather some good intel about Venom and what their plans are. We can prevent the next disaster.
Don't you think it would have been a better idea to kind of have told us this before rather than taking us by surprise?
Well, it had to look good.
I was trying to tell you.
I mean, you weren't telling us that they were about to attack us and that like there was a whole. You didn't know that, did you? You knew that they were going to come and get us.
I didn't know that this part right here was going to happen. And my phone had been blowing up the entire time that I was having that conversation. So yes, I did technically have warning in advance, but I was just as surprised as you guys because they showed up when I looked at my phone.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. I'm saying, like, couldn't they have let us in on this plan, like Aegis, who, you know, you're speaking for right now? Don't you think they could have, you know, given us a heads up?
Lady December will go over and grab Fade's phone and show, and you can see like 10 minutes of increasingly urgent text messages from Aegis saying, seriously though, pick up your freaking phone. We have a superhero team inbound. Let everyone know. So it was literally that Fade didn't get the message until the last minute.
Literally the last minute.
Yeah. Or 5 seconds.
One of those things where we're all just hearing the phone go buzz buzz and we all look at it, but we're all talking.
Right.
Yeah. Like, don't you dare answer it.
And she was trying to be in the moment and focusing on them and not on her phone because Val had literally just got onto her about that. So she's just like, phone can wait. This is more important. And then suddenly there's superheroes. And now I'm having deja vu flashbacks.
I mean, to your point, sorry. It's deadlocked now? Is that right? Put some more marshmallows in her hot chocolate. Anyway, Deadlock has a point. It's kind of manipulative. But sometimes that's what it takes. So, and we trust, given the heroes that you are, that you'll do what's right. For yourselves, for your team, for Aegis, and for all the innocents that can be spared if we can foil Venom's next dastardly plan. It is all what we signed up for, isn't it?
Mine signed up.
She'll just kind of look at you and smile.
I was made specifically for this purpose.
It's true. Let's put it this way. Deadlock. How do you feel about punching bad guys?
I like punching bad guys.
Well, here's a perfect opportunity.
That benefits all of you.
It benefits everyone.
So Aegis has a lot of resources, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk payment.
Okay. So as
this is mainly because Impact doesn't have Impact's resources anymore, and I would like to stand on my own.
Yeah. So Lady December will say, let's walk and talk. You're out in the outskirts of the city. You're on some sort of like soybean farm or something like that. So she will kind of like walk you down a farm road. And so as Deadlock and Lady December talk details, specifically mission parameters and resources, everyone else is given lovely hot chocolate with extra marshmallows to warm up. You see Mr. Mantis will come up. He's got his helmet off. And he comes back and says, "Oh, you mind if I take these?" He goes and grabs the gauntlets that have been removed for you and puts them back on, and kind of shakes over his head. He is maybe in his late 60s, African American guy, kind of like salt and pepper, like tight cut, but like a really warm, friendly face. He's like, "Oh, I'd heard about you ladies. You guys put up a heck of a fight. Good job." The Gamma Guardian is just kind of floating there. His eyes don't blink. They're just like big silver kind of almond-shaped orbs. And he just kind of stares at all of you in a really creepy, unsettling way.
This is normal. This is fine.
Yeah. He probably gravitates to Tilly and asks some very, very pointed and to an organic, probably rude questions about your alien origins, and reveals that he knows a bit about the Steel Swarm. And shares that, in his part of space, there are entire sectors that have been subjugated by the Swarm. It's not a friendly conversation, but it's, I think, mutual curiosity. So,
I am taking the time to talk to Tilly about the benefits and history of soybeans, because they're very prolific in my diet, completely forgetting that Tilly obviously already has access to all this information.
right.
Forgetting that she's an AI, just like telling her about the goodness of soybeans.
Yes. And then, yes, the Gamma Guardian will kind of join in and share that there's a similar staple crop on his planet. Of course, they glow and have anti-gravity properties, but they play a similar role in the sapient food chain. I think that just leaves Spectre and Fade in the back of the truck together.
Oh,
Sounds terrible.
Spectre's just sipping the hot chocolate. Just kind of staring at the wall. She doesn't know how to feel about this. Because technically we're still heroes, but her whole thing has been trying to not appear like a villain, and now she looks like a villain, and she's a little not happy with that.
Interestingly enough, because you got your phones and you're probably looking at your phones as opposed to talking to each other.
Yep.
The nightly news comes on, early edition. And of course, battle in downtown, catch the news in 5. And there is a very well shot montage of the action scene. None of the cameras seem to catch you, Spectre.
Weird.
You know, it's like all shaky cam and stuff. I mean, you saw, particularly, you were able to see the photographic equipment that was hanging out the side of that helicopter. It for sure had, you know, shutter reduction and all that kind of stuff on it. But what's shown on the news, you're just a shadowy figure.
It's slightly better now.
And in fact, nobody. There are some good close-up shots of Fade in the red and purple. There are some shots from the back of a garishly dressed figure shooting firebolts. There are some maybe touched up photographs of residents, but it looks like a very different person, partly because of the wig and the makeup. But if you didn't know it was you,
Oh,
you would never make the connection.
cool. Feel better. Still just sipping hot chocolate. Also, probably gonna text my mother and let her know that I'm gonna be gone for a little bit.
All right.
She probably already knows. She definitely already knows, but
So as the scene closes, we just have Fade and Spectre in the back of the paddy wagon, totally not talking to each other, just
yeah,
getting on their phones.
completely.
Lovely. Lovely. All right. Well, that is where we'll leave it for the first part of the 4th issue of Teen Justice Academy. You're all back together.
Yeah.
All the hard feelings have left behind. You're ready to start a new beginning together. Being heroes, no pressure, no complication. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
A team bonding experience.
Yes, for sure. And you legit held your own against a set of adult A-list heroes who weren't trying their hardest, but you did perform quite well. There are quite a few very successful attacks and things that went by, so you can at least be proud of that part. And residents, Lady December for sure knows who you are and thinks you're pretty cool.
Yay!
So that's nice.
I
Cool.
just want to say I could have gone incorporeal at any time to get out of those handcuff gauntlets.
Yeah. Lady December will just pat you. I'm sure you could, sweetie.
I don't like how Lady December outed Devon's new name.
Oh, that part got edited. She also didn't have a lot of time to prep. she also like just got a text and said, "Hey, we gotta go put on a
No,
show."
I meant when we came back. When we came back,
Oh.
and they were
Yeah,
like,
'cause,
"It's
like, how
deadlock
she-
now."
Oh, right.
And it was like,
She's been reading the files. So cool. Hey,
that's not cool.
yeah, it's fine.
You don't say a superhero's name without them saying it first.
All right. Cool. So let's do the round robin and let everyone know who you are and where they can see you next. We'll start with Tough this time.
Okay, cool. Should we do the end of session stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. I am 90 Tough Love, or Tough for Torf or Torfulton, or some other variety of nickname. I'm also a variety streamer on Twitch. I play lots of different games. Sometimes I run games like this. I've got the Masks Unfathomable coming back at some point. I will also be playing Masks on Singe channel at some point. And also on Backwind's channel. And then I think we also have another Masks thing coming up here again. So lots of masks. And I'll be back next week for Teen Justice Academy. I have been Spectre, and I think that Spectre has grown away from the team because everybody's angry.
How could you have grown further away from the team? I'm going to say I don't think it's possible for you to have grown away from the team.
Yeah, that's true. Well, then I guess she grew into her own image of herself, because that's the only other option, because she didn't really tend to get closer to anybody.
Okay.
But I think that part where she actually like got to like use her powers in a fight in a way that was a little bit different, she thinks that was pretty cool. So she's kind of excited to explore that. So I think that maybe her freak actually goes up a little bit as she's experimenting with new ways to use her powers. And I think her savior's gonna go down.
Okay.
She's not feeling super heroic at the moment.
That's because you're a bad guy now. Cool. Just like mom always wanted.
Yay!
Yo, Mish.
Yes, I am Misha_lesson3 here on Twitch. I am at Misha Weha on Twitter. That's Misha with a W-E-H-E at the end. I think you will find me here next, probably just for Teen Justice Academy in the next couple Sundays. I am cooking up another mass game for around here. Don't know when that's going to be, but we'll see how that goes. Let's see. End of session stuff for Tilder. I don't know. I think she grew closer to the team. She just showed up at Resonance's house. Everything's fine, hanging out.
Yeah.
So Resonance gets influence over me, and since you already have influence, that means you get to shift my labels. So have at that, Resonance. And then I think I'll mark a potential because I'm fine. Everything is cool for me personally.
Cool.
So
do I shift one up, one down? Is it?
yeah. I'll go to 0 first.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
So mundane up from -1 to 0, and then
Oh wait, no. You know, no.
Yep.
I'll leave it.
okay. I'm slowly reaching equilibrium at like 0.
Yeah.
I'm making everything 1.
Perfect. Everything. Well, this will be easier.
By
math.
-1. By the mundane, which is -1. I just don't think you're as superior because you're becoming more like us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I moved your savior up and you're superior now.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, Rachie.
All right.
Okay, so I'm Rachie H. I'm not really anywhere right now. I'm rubbish at social media. I will get better. But right now I'm pretty rubbish at it. And I've not been live for a long time. Didn't know I was going to be on here today until I was pinged. So you'll see me next week, I think. Hopefully I will get back into streaming soon. I'm very much changing my front room at the moment. There's a lot of stuff happening. I like stuff being built from scratch and stuff. So it's a work in progress. So DIY is my main focus right now. I've got pallets in the back garden that I'm taking apart. And in terms of Resonance, I definitely think closer to the team because at the end of last episode, she walked out. And then obviously welcomed Tilly and Devon into her home. And obviously Devon and residents have always been quite distant, but now it'll probably be like Tilly is our closest friend, and then probably Devon after that. So definitely closer to the team. And again, that would say that I would go for the fact that Devon came out and like actually came and did stupid things with me and put makeup on and stuff, I would give them influence. And again, they've already got influence over me, so.
Oh yes. Deadlock, how would you like to shift Resonance's labels?
Maybe up mundane once, since she's a little bit more comforting than
Yep.
I would have thought. And then probably either superior down one or maybe danger freak down one. I'm gonna say superior down one because it's at a 3. So
Yeah, I didn't really act like I was more superior than you with this.
Yep.
This
And yeah, so Deadlock's view of Resonance is helping to shape even Resonance's self-identity, because you probably have a moment to think, and it's like, I articulated myself, I held boundaries, but I was also welcoming and did people the kindness of being transparent and vulnerable with my feelings. So yes, absolutely. Yo, Zodi.
Hi.
Oh, and then also, and Rachel, don't forget to clear a condition or mark potential as well.
Oh, yeah. Definitely clearing condition. I've got 2 of them.
Right. So Zodi.
The original Zodi, I don't stream anymore. However, you can find me right here for masks. Anytime that this ragtag group of human beings get together for masks, I will be here.
That's alien robot exclusionary language. I think you need to apologize to Tilly.
Humanoids, I'm sorry.
Okay. It's still their Andash, you just
right
threw shade.
But yeah, and anytime that this group gets together, you can find me here. I really enjoy playing with these people. I really enjoy the mask system. That said, Bade grew into her own image. Like she's relearning how to do things, you know, how to make amends. She's trying to be not secretive, not transparent. Or no, sorry, she is trying to be transparent. She wants to be see-through, not opaque.
Yes.
All
right.
She's trying to regain trust with her team, and she knows that it's going to take some work. She knows that, you know, when she's by herself for a hot moment, she's probably going to cry because this day sucked. But she's understanding that, you know, it's going to be step by step, and she has to apologize for her actions and talk to Aegis about building them a new base.
Yeah. Well, that conversation's happening right now. Down the road a bit. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So shift your labels. Yo, SJ.
I am SJ or SJ _. Sidekick. I do not stream, but you can find me here quite a bit, either playing or running games. I was kind of shifting between grow closer to the team and grow into your image of yourself, since I like legitimately changed my name and stuff. But I think I'll save that for when I actually like get a new costume and everything, and do grow closer to the team, because I think having Resonance welcome me in and everything, especially given our history, I definitely feel closer to Resonance, and she doesn't have influence over me. And I think narratively it makes sense for her to have influence over me now, especially after she had me doing hood rat stuff with.
Awesome. So so Resonance now has influence over Deadlock, and Deadlock, you may shift. You may clear condition or mark potential.
I'm gonna mark potential, which moves me to 5, and I'm gonna make impact have no influence on me.
Ooh, perfect.
I
Awesome.
will also say I got to full 5 potential during it. I decided to take the get burn and 3 flares from the Nova's playbook. So it's
Excellent.
time.
Excellent.
I took stage fighting from my own playbook.
Oh, excellent. Which allows you to roll with something other than danger, right?
Superior.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, whoops! I just took that away.
It's okay.
it's
You
still
only
at
took down by
+2.
1. It's still 2. It's fine.
Still really good. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, we had some advancements. We had some self-discovery. We had some first steps at making amends. We had some radical honesty. We had some kindness and welcomingness. We had some Mean Girls slash the craft kind of montage action, and a fight in the middle of Metropolis that made it to the evening news. And you are now, at least as far as social media and the gossip rags are concerned, a villainous group of teen ne'er-do-well anti-heroes, which means you probably have some fans. There's one blogger in particular who's like, yeah, this is of course what they do. As soon as a soup wants to like show their own identity and like resist the man, of course they gotta name them as villains and send them to prison. It's like, I'd much rather have the Vice Girls around than those other ones. They don't even have a team name. They're all goody and stuff. So you have at least one fan.
Username.
Yeah.
MFK.
Yeah.
Is it MFK?
It's for sure MFK.
Thought so.
Yeah. So you have 1 over 1, at least one fan who likes the new you better than the old you. And now all you have to do is go and convincingly infiltrate some sort of secret venom facility and not get caught. Should be fine. Cool. Well done, everyone. I am Zero or Zero Daylight or Michael or DM or GM or Keeper or Master of Ceremonies or whatever the system requires me to be. You can catch me usually a couple times a week here running and sometimes playing games like this. So TTRPGs that aren't D&D, they tend to skew more toward the narrative, more toward the rules light. Remembering that rules light doesn't mean shallow. Systems can be very deep. Systems can really facilitate a certain type of storytelling, a certain type of vibe without having, 500 pages of rules. And you can still have really cool combat, even if like there's no 2 hits and no armor classes and no hit points, as I think this episode has demonstrated. So yes, we will pick up with the second part of the 4th episode of 4th issue of Teen Justice Academy next week. And there's other stuff that's coming up soon. The only thing that's for sure on the calendar is Alien, a 2-parter, using the Free League system. So this is the licensed IP of Alien. That'll be run by Grognard starting, I think, the 2nd of August. So coming up relatively soon. Then we have a number of other things that we're just looking to firm down the dates. It's summer and people's schedules shift. But we have a number of things, including some more Powered by the Apocalypse stuff coming up. And I think, unless I hear otherwise, the actual next thing will be on Tuesday when we do Space Scrappers, a one-shot that is kind of loosely inspired by Trastronautica. So it's a bunch of animals in space scrapping things to survive. It will, of course, be remarkably silly, I'm sure. So stay tuned. Come check us out here. Follow us here. And then head on over to cpluscontent.tv, which is our YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. That's a great way to be notified when new content is available, which is usually 24 hours after it broadcasts live here. And then on Wednesdays, I'm over at the Duckwork channel playing some good old-fashioned D&D. And picking up probably in September, we'll go back to doing our Sunday evenings over the Juices TV program and Lissa channel. But right now, Lissa is en route to uprooting her whole life and becoming a citizen of the UK. So she's gonna give her
mistake.
Give her a sec to. She's moving from Florida though, so
really a step up, no matter what.
I mean,
to be fair, we have less gators.
That's true. It's true.
Yes.
And fewer mosquitoes and hurricanes.
And less Florida man.
Yes, and less Florida man. So
to be fair, as someone from Florida, Florida Man is infamous because of our reporting requirements. So there's just more information out. That's why you get so many Florida Man stories, because the news sources can pull so much from Florida.
All right, Florida Man.
okay. Awesome. Cool. Well, I think we should go and rate someone. I was not expecting him to be on yet, but he apparently
Juice is
started.
on, yeah.
He apparently started a little bit early, which is perfect. And we will go. I suspect most people that are here are probably already over there, which is fine.
Who's Juice?
Right?
No one knows that guy. Who could that be?
But let's go ahead and get that rolling. Awesome. Cool. We'll wait for that queue to fill up, and we'll head on over there and say hi to Juice and interrupt him in whatever he's doing and annoy him, because that is how we show love. Awesome. Well, we're ready to go. Cool. Thanks, everyone. And we will see you back here soon.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Yay.